Let's see. And we're live. Your channel. That was quick. 2 people watching. Holy shit. Let's see. First laughed my ass off. My dude, you're first. You're all right. Dang. First dude in here. That's crazy. Normally it takes a while for people to hop in here. My stream is growing. It's growing in number. Oh my god, that's such a crazy week of work. It's nice to be able to relax, sit back, and enjoy the stream. With some boyos join the chat. Let's see. Let's get the link in the chat. Invite, copy clipboard, copied for anybody who wants to join the stream. Other than that, yep, this stream has no topic. Not really. Just post to your heart's content. I read your comments. I do commentary. The topic that is pretty interesting though is that the Joe Biden's presidency has been a lot of the turfs. There's like a huge civil war in the feminist movement right now between the turfs, which is like trans exclusionary radical feminist, and the regular feminist. And the regular feminists think that Joe Biden did this rule for prisons and I think for sports too, basically saying that like if you're a the trans stuff, basically like if you identify the woman, you should be able to go to like a female prison, or if you play female sports. And now you see these feminists are like going crazy. They're like, oh my god, how could you do this to us, Joe Biden? Like, how could you destroy our sports like this? And it's like, well, what did you expect to happen? Like, one thing I feel like these lefties, especially leftist women, don't realize that like if everybody can just identify as a woman, then there is no such thing as a women's rights. It doesn't exist. It can't exist. Like you can't have something that's like exclusive to women if anybody can just be a woman by declaring it randomly. Like, it doesn't make any sense. We got second. We got Black Earth. What's going on, bud? Oh, we got Don in the chat. Oh snap, my boy. A man with options in life is dangerous. Cope, Greg Adams. Having delusions while isolating at home is like a good beta. Dude, tell me about it. We're all sitting here delusional as fuck right now, dude. Nothing to do but cope because you can't go out anywhere really. We're all wearing a fucking mask, hanging out, chilling. It's hard. Hard life. A man with options. What does he even mean by options? What, the option to cope? Like, okay, I guess that's an option. You can call it that. Maximum coping. Every time I breathe, I cope. Who else is here? Let's see. I unsubscribed from Coach. Dang. I'm still sub to Coach and a battered bachelor. If only because I want to see what they're talking about. Really, I kind of want to still be be in the loop. But It's so weird because Coach Greg Adams, we blew up really fast when it came to his channel. It was surprising how fast his channel grew. Super Saiyan, hello. Super Saiyan 3 too. Ooh, that's crazy. Great guy, but too much cope. Yeah. What's going on, bro? Coach is uncovered beta. Like he's short as fuck. He's bald. I mean, I'm balding too, but fuck, like I'm not bald yet. Fuck it. So like at least I have some hair left. And it's like and it's like looking at Cope Greg Adams, like you're like the guy I'm supposed to be listening to, dude. You serious? I stopped listening to Better Bachelor and Coach Greg Adams. Got tired of the same old stuff. Not good for your mind to focus on women all the time. Yeah, it really isn't. That's kind of the whole point of these streams. Just to come in here, talk about shit. Women come up and you cope. That's what you can with that shit. But you come to these streams, just chill some bro scenes. You know, the bro stuff, dude. Hang out, chill, do what you got to do. Kick back and drink some whiskey or some shit like that and chill. Oh boy, links in the chat by the way if anyone wants to join. I'm not sure if people want to hop in the stream or not, but it's there. Oh yeah, that was this guy who wanted to come on. Let's see if his email's still there. I am live now. Not sure what your plans are. I hope it's dipping. Cope Greg Adams has a video titled "The Women That Live Rent Free in Your Head." He doesn't realize that they live rent free in his head, hence why he's always making videos about them. Yeah, he's coping hard. Like the shout out to the Cope gang for being in here, being involved, and being active. Like I can only imagine like being like Coach Greg Adams. He like there's nothing particularly wrong with his content per se. Whoa, I got a lot of comments now. Holy crap! But like, yeah, it's like this guy said. Like he's very subject repetitive. Like it just seems like he's like covered all the ground he has to cover, and there's no need for him to fucking exist. like like he might as well not even exist. Mystery School, how many subscribers do you have? Oh, you want to guess? Guess. I want you to guess how many subscribers I have. CGA and Donovan spending hours to women, making videos that expose themselves. Gets really tiring fast. We already know about female nature. We think we do. The real question is why do females behave this way? You can just say it's female nature, but it doesn't tell us anything though. Like you need to look at the biological and not economic conditions as well as the really socio-economic factors as well as the biological factors that lead us here. It's not just enough to say female nature anymore. You got to explain beyond that. Like you also can't just say, oh, it's evolution. Okay, well, what parts of evolution? Like name name the trait or name the thing that got us here. You could say it was like mate guarding, or you could say it was like hunter-gatherer societies, or various things. But since it's no longer enough just to say, oh, it's female nature is just a thing, dude. Like, okay, well, it doesn't tell you anything. Like, it's boring information. Coach Greg Adams is to say I already read this one here. And something from him, he's just evolved. Yeah. Shout out to the Cope gang, yeah, for being in here and being involved, being active. Oh shit. Greg saying that he deals with women. I don't know, man. For some of these guys, like it seems like all their encounters with women appears to like it seems like they like watch too much porn and like their ideas about what happens in sex is like out of a porno. It's like so. It's like they're like, oh yeah. So I was talking to the chick at the gym, and it's like we just hit it off, and I was like, okay, like that really happened. Like maybe to like Chad, but like to like 5'4" fucking bald dude, I don't think so. I prefer CGO over Donovan Sharp. Donovan's toxic and his bitter abusive with women. Dude, Donovan's like his girlfriend's fucking horrible looking. I'm gonna say it, dude. I don't even care. Like it amazes me. Like his like Devin is not like the woman I thought she was. I'll put it like that. It's not who I had envisioned in my mind when it comes to like the way excuse me, the way Donovan talks about her. She is not the woman that I had envisioned in my mind about like the way she looks. I was like, what the fuck? Battered bachelor spent all his YouTube money building his bus to live nomad. Post Corona, he can't go anywhere. It's true. He did spend a lot of money on that bus. Although, truth be told, the a bus life is it might actually be a pretty good cope because you can travel anywhere. It's you and your bus hanging out. It's snowing outside. Imagine this: it's a snowy field, and you're out in your bus, and it's nice and warm and toasty in your bus. You know, like you're just chilling in your bus. Like there's something like so like primal about that like feeling. It's like, oh, it's cold, but you're inside your bus all warm and toasty, and you built your own shelter, and it's like this is kind of nice. Like I don't know. Yeah, the forest life. Yeah, that forest life exactly. Do you think insultum is usually called? Do I think it's usually called bad social skills? No. Yes and no. The problem is what happens. What normally happens first, like the question becomes, why do you have bad social skills? Well, you get bad social skills from bad feedback from your peers. And how do you get bad feedback from your peers? Well, probably being ugly. Like people, the kids will just won't gravitate towards you and give you and give you social interaction. Therefore, you end up with bad social skills. So everything kind of comes back. Everything comes back to looks always. Like you always have to go back to the looks pill before you go to the social skills pill. No, are there some incels who end up incel because they have bad social skills? Sure, but I think they're a minority of incels, not the majority of them. Donovan and his womanese audio book is laughable. Womanese, fucking womanese, dude. I swear to God, woman fucking knees. I think it's not. I think it's not biological in female nature. I think it's that they raised, but raised is subjective. Oh, it's you think that the nature is raised in them, but it's not subjective. Oh, he claimed she had a body of a nine, the face of a seven. Dude, what's he smoking? Like what fucking if that really is Devin, I swear to God, I'm like, okay, dude, maybe she had. Yeah, she had the body of a nine, the face of a seven. Yeah, she had. Not anymore. Bus life is easier. Yep. I respect BB. At least he's got something else going on in his life. He ain't relying on making a living from streaming daily and super chat money. Yeah, the problem with YouTube and the problem with red pill content is that you're always going to be beholden to your subscribers, and your subscribers always want to hear, especially the average subscriber. They always just kind of want to hear what they've always heard, which is like the same content you've been making for the last 20 years. So you're always going to be beholden to an audience because especially if they're paying you, well, they want to hear the same crap over and over and over again. They just want to have their biases confirmed. So you end up kind of fucked. You end up fucked because the moment you deviate from that previous revenue stream, you end up losing money because the people who subscribe to you they subscribe because of that content. So let's see, Don. Modern life dating looks like Butterball. seen him, seen him fight from the film Hellraiser. Oh God, it's like a rule of nature, huh? MLD. But mystery, it's both genders. Oh boy. 90% of red pillers always bald or balding. Yep. You can't escape the Norwood Reaper. MOD looks like Golem. God damn. Red pillars are insults in denial. Yeah, to some extent. Depending on how, like, the thing with Chad is that Chad, he never needs the red pill. He doesn't even know what the fuck it even is. He has no need for red pilling. Because why the fuck would he ever need to? The Norwood Reaper comes forth. The Norwood Reaper, dude, he's coming for it. He already came for me, dude. He's already been chopping my hair off for fucking two fucking years at least. Kicking my ass right now. I just got off from a 12-hour shift. I'm wage coping now, boy. My God. I'm a bald cell in denial. Yeah, me too. I use that topic shit. Fuck it. The balding part is the initiation. The hairline goes its own way, and then the red pill men follow. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Higtow. Or Hilltow or Hilgatow. Hairline going its own way. Hairline's going their own way. Or hair going its own way. It's like, fuck you. I'm done. I'm done with being shampooed. Fuck you. Yo, you always have these surprise weekend chats. Yeah, dude. I fucking just make them up whenever I feel like doing it, dude. The Norwood Reaper comes for us all, dude. Yep, at the end of the day, we're all gonna be bald one day. You gotta pay the toll one day. He'll come for you. Sometimes he leaves a little bit on top for mercy, but other than that, he takes what he needs. Fucking asshole. YouTube never gives me a notification until 2 hours in. Dang. Well, Lou, I'm glad you're here. Glad you made it here early. Fucking Norwood Reaper, man. When will the blackpilling of women begin? Some of them have. They just got blackpilled, dude, because the feminists especially, because they realize that, oh shit, Joe Biden's gonna fuck us over with this whole like, I think that when women were out there running around saying that trans women are women, they didn't realize what the fuck that meant. So I already discussed it earlier on the stream, but like, I swear to God, they have no clue. They had no clue what the fuck they were what they really meant when they said that. So now they're fucked in their own sports now, because now they're getting outclassed by literal men who claim to be women who are just fucking destroying them now. Years after they need to accept it. Yep, yeah, they only accept it after the fact. The truth is for men. Hairline going its own way. Yep. Fuck. Darius M is low key incel. Is he? I haven't watched his content in years. What's he been making? Am I still sub to that guy? Darius M. He's got 178K subscribers. Wow. Dang. He still makes pretty good. What's he been making, literally? Yeah. Women can't be black pill. When women are born black pill. What's it gonna be, boys? Have a debate in the chat. Let's do it. Figure it out. I think women are born. They're born black pilled on looks for sure, but a lot of stuff they're still very very naive on, like the politics black pill. It never began. Oh, ER. You will never have a white woman. Just go ER. If you are bald, you must beard mask like Richard Coper. Yeah, dude, I am beard masking right now. Not gonna lie. Like I said, the Norwood Reaper comes for us all. He spares nobody. Cat maxing. Yep. Only when the cat piss reaches up to their eyeballs when they realize that they fucked up bad. They can if they want to be. They do use makeup after all. The original looks maxers. They just have so much to gain by playing or being ignorant. Yeah. Darius M is slang trash probably. I don't even know. I haven't watched Darius M in so many like at least like a year now, so it's been a while. No, Black Pill is solely a man's issue, just like there can't be Doom or Floyd. They can't be black pilled. Women are only fans pilled, yeah. Women are universal pilled. Black pilled on looks, not on society. Yeah, yeah, that's the way to put it. Darius M always begging for money. Dude, red pillars always beg for money, dog. You be hearing them shit like a fucking church shaking the offering plate around. Oh, there ain't enough money in the offering plate. It's like a black church. Anybody here ever been to a black church? You fucking know that place coming by at least 5 times, so you fucking put the shit away. There ain't enough money in the pot, boys. Keep throwing the money around. Keep throwing the money around. It's like Jesus Christ. If I don't get 15 super chats in 15 minutes, I'm cutting the stream off. It's like, okay. Okay, buddy. Beard next for recessed jaw cells. Oh my god. Luckily, mine isn't recessed, but yeah, I do have a beard though. It says icing on the cake. Man, you need to announce these chats, dude. I wish I could. I wish I could. I don't know how to announce a chat. What? I just fucking make a small video about it or what? Hell, I need to make a new fucking video. The average 6 out of 10 OnlyFans girl earns more money than a balding red pillar YouTuber. Believe it or not, I think that's actually wrong. Like, really, it's only the top percent of like women actually make money on OnlyFans. The rest of them make like fucking $100 a fucking like a few fucking weeks, and that's it. Like OnlyFans really isn't that much of a moneymaker for the majority of women because like it's just by the nature of things. Like you can't have a lot of like people making a lot of money in the market like that. Just too much competition now. Nice collab with Tim the Cyborg, but holy shit, that guy is Captain Toke or what? Captain Toke. He might be, dude. Dude just fucking hitting the bong piece hard. Oh shit, skip somebody's comment. I know, right? We could have Kevin Samuels numbers if he let a brother know a few hours ahead of time. Hey man, it's better that they're more spontaneous. It makes people kind of rush in here. It's like, wait a second, he sees all these live. He's live. I gotta get in there now. Oh my god. Red pillars be like hot. Red pillars be like hit that cash. Yeah, hit that cash app, dude. Hit the cash app, guys. If I don't get the cash app, I want my money. I want my fucking money, dog. Hit the cash app, boys. Like, come on, dude. Bald pillars. Bald pillars, dude. Twitter or Gab will do. Okay. Oh shit, I got First in here. Look at that guy. What's going on, First? I should like join your stream at some point. I don't know. I've never done it before, so let's go back to the top now. Twitter or Gab will do. I don't even have a Gab or a Twitter. Fuck Twitter. I'll be honest, I can't watch MD anymore after he had the fem on the last stream. He said both genders are to blame. However, men responsible for women's cruelty and degenerate behavior. Yeah. I think you could argue that men enable it because men at the end of the day are supposed to be the sole responsible people of like the world, but like it's not fair. So, but the thing is that if we're gonna give them rights, they have to have responsibility with it. So they got to learn it at some point. OnlyFans is getting saturated now. Even they are getting broke now. Women ruined it for women. Women ruined it for women. Women most affected. Yeah, it's true. I subbed right then and there. Kevin Samuels continues to prove that to me that most women aren't salvageable. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like even when he's like literally slaying them, like he's like has like a sword out, literally chopping their heads off. They won't even admit defeat. Like it's almost like they're like delusional. It's so hard to like watch his streams and like I'm literally screaming at my monitor saying, "What's wrong with you? Why can't you just be normal?" You know what I mean? Like why are you so crazy? Exactly. That's why I don't get why they call men the prize. Women already make 20% more in major cities for full-time jobs. I didn't even know that. But I believe it though, because like think about it. Like we already have an education gap in between men and women now at this point anyway. Like it used to be in the men's favor, now it's in the women's favor. So like it only makes sense. Like at some point, that gender gap, that wage gap they've been crying about is going to be zero, and then it's going to go in the opposite the direction. And then what the fuck are they going to say? Are they still going to bitch and complain about it or what? I was more of a price check on aisle 7 than the price. Oh boy, dude, that stream where that Morpheus covered. Holy damn! Can you believe that, Floyd? The level of entitlement and privilege is unreal with these women. Links for the Cash App in the description, boyos. Yeah, guys, come on. The Cash App, hit the Cash App, boys. Like, come on. Oh shit. See, look, I asked for nothing. I asked for no money. I asked for nothing. Just show up, have some fucking fun, talk to your bro stiffs, drink some water. I don't know, or have a whiskey shot, hang out. Fuck it. Might as well cope some way. There's one more where Kevin goes off on a Floyd classic. That's like every night. Look at the super chats. Those are the men supporting him to see the spectacle. The bisexual Floyd that gets pumped and dumped by Chad gets $100 on OnlyFans and dates other bisexual Floyds. Women are most affected. The scary part is I'm a six figures man and these Floyds sound to me like on crack. I'm close to six figures and like, yeah, I'm like some of these women I'm looking at you like, why the fuck would I want to date you? Like out of all the women I could date, you're like you weigh as much as I do. And somehow I'm supposed to like placate to you. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like somehow I'm supposed to like I'm supposed to be the beta in that relationship. Like it doesn't make any sense. No, okay, when I could get something better. If I'm making that kind of money, dog, I might as well just fucking get a fucking prostitute called a day. Kevin Samuels would be like, hit that donate button or I'm stopping the show. Dude, it's true. They be hitting you hard for that donate button, dog. Like, you better hit that Cash App now. Hit the Cash App right fucking now. And it's like, whoa, like, dang. Copy clipboard. Let me get the thing in the chat again. Here we go. In case people want to join the stream link. All right. Whoa, there's a lot of comments in here now. What the fuck? Radio Pushka. It's men's fault though. If all women were top 20% of men, we wouldn't have these problems. It's obvious. See, hypergamy floats, so it wouldn't matter. They would just find something else to eliminate the 80% of men from the game anyway, so it doesn't matter. Just be Chad, bro. Yeah, just be Chad. TFM says women are not important. Boy, is he Copenhagen. Niggas in Copenhagen. Let's see. I'm making literal tens of thousands on GM. Oh, the GameStop short squeeze. Yeah, I'll be damned if I spend a cent on Floyd. Just social max, bro. Just get lucky, bro. Bisexual women are pretty universal pilled. Is Kevin's Facebook group only for men who make hundreds of thousands a year? I'm asking for a friend. Kevin Samuels has more candles in his videos than a Curry brother celebrating Diwali. Geo maxing and escort maxing best cope in 2021. Burnt banana. God, fucking burnt banana. What? All right, I don't know why fucking should made me geek out so fucking much for burnt banana. The fuck? Oh shit! You hear about the new domestic abuse law in California about coercive control? No, what's going on with that? Explain it. I make 30K a year. Oh yeah, you're in that low income bracket, my dude. Heard that. Good job. Never spend a dime, Jack. Yeah, dude, you might as well just take all that gain and fucking reinvest it somewhere else. Probably at least high five figures and seeking marriage or married if I had to guess. Wait, who? Oh yeah, yeah. I make 0K a year. My dude, good job. Good job. California is losing all its high earners. Oh yeah, they're all fucking leaving in droves. Get the fuck out of here. I'd leave too. Fuck that state. Shithole fucking place. Kevin Samuel sits playing on his phone while other people aren't doing anything. He's like, I ain't doing no fucking work for no fucking money, dog. Burp banana. Oh shit. Damn. I mean, I'll have to tell my friend the solution is for all men to be top 1%. See, look, if everybody's top 1%, no one's really top 1% now, are they? Like I said, hypergamy floats. So let's find something new to fucking fuck you up, to fuck you over with. Said TFM with his doll. Dude, the doll cope is like literally like if you're gonna cope, you might as well cope and like get the most pleasure out of it as possible. Just get a prostitute, dog, or just get an escort. Why the fuck would you ever like spend like if I'm gonna spend 3K on a doll, I might as well spend 3K on like the top tier, toppest tier fucking escort that I can fucking find in my area. Fuck it. like I might as well just go all out. Like why the fuck would I waste my money on a fucking doll? Like come on. Hey everybody, did you all keep frames this week? I tried, buddy. Bet my fucking back broke trying to do it too. Aren't you the guy who wants to hop on stream? I put the link in the chat. That's you. Yeah, get in here. Hurry up. If said frame is apathy, yes. Burp banana. Fucking burp banana. Just get a doll, bro. No. Not doing that. Dropping by, appreciate life, y'all. Things could be worse. The person we were supposed to move today shot himself in front of us. Peace, bro. What? What happened? Dropping by, appreciate life, y'all. Things could be worse. The person who we were supposed to move today shot himself in front of us. What the fuck? Whoa. If everyone is Chad, then no one is Chad. Bwahaha. Rolo Tomasi, fucking Tales from the Crypt looking motherfucker, makes the same video on Alpha Seed beta needs at least 5 to 6 times per year, but refuses to get a paternity test as he thought as though he is the exception to his own rules. Dude. Like Rolo Tomasi looks like that's one of like MD fucking I love that thing, dude. Like his like little Tales from the Crypt shit. He looks like a fucking zombie. Look, he literally has cancer and he's dying. And this is the guy I'm supposed to listen to on like his advice to like how to fucking how to fucking get a woman or how to fucking control my woman and some shit. Red pillars be like, if all men become Chad, then over 101% of men can get laid, and still talk about hypergamy in the same sentence. Women have less double think than that. Yeah. I doubt George Miller, aka Rolo, has worries about paternity. I think he probably knows whose kid it is. Just by doll, bruh. You are alpha, bruh. I took 4 showers today and grew a new jawline. I showered this morning after I worked out, and yeah. Jawline didn't get any better, so maybe I gotta take 3 more. It worked for my local curry sale. It's gotta work for me, right? What's up, mystery? What's going on, Crimson Shadow? What's going on, dude? I also got a haircut and grew taller. My dude. See, look, it's like fucking holy water. It fucking works. Yeah, bro, just get a doll, bro, and take 21 showers, bro, and then just go to the gym, bro. You can't drop that on us and leave. What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck, what the fuck happened? Literally, what the fuck's going on? What the hell happened? What in the literal fuck happened? Doll maxing. Whoa, haha. Oh shit, I'm skipping comments here. Oh my god, are you for real? Really, we'll get a paternity test. This is actually why surgery and geomassing has hard limits. The whole point is to be a MOG in your local area, but people take it as a social cure. Yeah. What's up, buddy boyos? What's up? What's up, Drolix? What's going on, Drolix? Yo, Drolix. Richard Coper donates his beard and oil earnings to Rollo Tomasi's trust fund. What's up, Doc? The number, the only numbers again that matters is demographics. 10 men for every 6 women. People are getting left out regardless who mogs or who doesn't. That's how life works. Got a text message. Who could it be? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, 22 people in the chat. Holy shit, what's going on? 22 people? What are you here for? In your fucking prime, boy. It's a Saturday night at 7:31 Eastern time in your prime, and you're here. What are you doing here? The fuck are you doing here? I took a shower today and became 7'1". 7'1"? Man, that's like beyond tall. Richard Coper is a fucking joke. Dolls are a good cope when the escort moves to OnlyFans. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Strawberry shortcake, anyone? Burt Banana. What the fuck's wrong with you? Burt fucking Banana. God damn. Welcome to post-COVID Earth. We arrived and his assistant took us upstairs to show us what we were supposed to move. And then we walked back downstairs. He let it one shot off in his gut, and he stood up. Dang. This was my life before COVID. COVID literally changed nothing for me. Yeah. Looked out the window and put the gun to his temple and shot himself in front of all. Dang, that is some fucking gruesome shit. I just woke up from a 14-hour sleep. I feel like rested lol. First thing I catch after getting online is the stream. It's over. It's a sign. It's like, whoa. I'm supposed to be here. I personally think any doll's the joke at this point. Might as well watch adult content, less work too. Yeah, who the fuck wants to clean? Wants to clean a fucking goddamn doll out, dog? Ew. I swim today and it grew a tail instead. It's over for me. God damn, yeah, what the fuck? Survive? No, he's dead, dog. He's dead, dude. No fucking way. There's no way that dude's alive, dog. It's forever seared into my mind. Yeah, I can imagine, dude. It's fucking crazy. What in the fuck? Richard Coper tries to geomax as a curry cell. Tried to geomax as a curry cell, but all he got was a single mom, with more single moms. Hey, it's the fate for some of us. I just like to listen. I hear you, my dude. Black shirt. Where's the blue shirt at? You should do a comedy review of Richard Coper's new book, Unplugged Alpha. Didn't I wait? Unplugged Alpha. Hold on, let me look this shit up. Unplugged Alpha. Richard Coper. Is there a PDF of this book I gotta get a free copy of or what? It's gotta be a PDF. I'm not buying this fucking book. Please tell me there's a PDF somewhere. I'm not paying for this fucking book. It's over for pirate sales. Is this it? Is this it? Is it really here? I might have found it. No, he's dead. Damn. Lay down and rot maxing with mystery school. What's going on with that? Like, lay down and rot, guys. Fuck it. About the Ocean Max. My prime never existed. It's over for me. I mean, for all men, what happened when even geomassing doesn't work? What happens when there is literally no true functional cope left? Oh, it's when you gotta go crazy. Revolution or Exodus, one of the two. Yeah, he's not wrong. You gotta go crazy, you just leave. Geomassing is already Exodus, so we can only hope for the latter. Or the former. I mean, the former, yeah, I'm about to say. Better than nothing. My bad, I didn't see it before I asked, yeah. I won't be able to raise an army. I talked about on the last stream, might as well go to the woods. Don't you mean in the woods, dude? In the woods? Remember when all the red pillars said in the post-corona world, women would be begging for men again? If anything, corona has turned the dial up on simping. Well, it has, dude. Men are so thirsty to have anything going on in their life. They're like, okay, I need to find a woman now. So like every single dude went to Tinder or Hinge or fucking every dating app on the face of the planet, and they all started fucking trying to find a woman. And now they're all simping hardcore, and now they're all paying money out to pay pigs, like fucking pay pigs to fucking Twitch thoughts or OnlyFans thoughts, and they're all giving all their money away for that sweet. Oh yeah, female validation. That's all they fucking want. They want to fucking lick it off their fucking fingers, dude. Just licking it off. They fucking need it, dog. They fucking need it. Not what I mean. I mean, we leave society and form our own communes. Let them normos and everyone else eat themselves. They are begging for men to simp for them harder. Yeah. Unplugged Coper. What's up, Neo? I think you just joined, didn't you? You just subscribed. Excuse me. God. Unplugged Alpha? You mean butt plugged Alpha? Is Asperger's Bruce Willis going to be on the stream to review Richard Coper's new? Oh God. I put the video up, put it on the stream before, but let's see if I can find this picture again. What a phenomenal fucking YouTube. Let me find gmail.com. Pick the right account. I mean, like, what in the literal fuck? Richard Coper's new book. I read this before, but I'm gonna read it. We're gonna read it again. We have to look at this. Look at this guy again. This is bad. Open file. Oh no. This guy looks like fucking Asperger's Bruce Willis. Look at this fucking guy. This is the guy I'm supposed to listen to. Okay, guys. Here we go. Here we go again. Share screen. Share screen. What the fuck's screen 2? That's screen 1. Screen. Allow. You guys see this? You guys can see it. Okay. I'm gonna read this in my correct voice. Mark Schwartz, the most sobering and factual read in this genre, a corpus of phenomenological wisdom, reviewed in the United States, November 27, 2020. Coper has taken the entire corpus of the manosphere acquired wisdom and compiled it into a concise, well-written, and relevant literature review. I have read the book in a 7-hour time frame, and it was riveted by the content and made numerous highlights and underlines on the greater than half his pages. This reviewer is in his mid-50s and has had a life experience that concurs with Coper's observations and suggestions, making this book a collection of phenomenological facts that are universal across cultures, time, and whether backwards or forwards. There is no misogyny in these pages, nor is there any hint of the black pill, histrionics, or radical anti-feminism. The corpus of this work is carefully crafted to not offend, but report the facts, hard-won facts, that came about the battlefield of love and life. Now, this is the guy that wrote this review. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is the guy that wrote the review. Let me find this picture. This is the guy that made the fucking review. It's like, this is the guy. This is the guy. This guy. This fucking guy. Right here. Oh my god. And somebody called him Asperger's Bruce Willis. I was like, what the literal fuck? He's our honorary incel of the week right now. Incel of the week is this guy. May his picture be seared into your mind for all eternity. Jesus. Lay down and rot is future. It's the future. We'll see. Sometimes I'll get a Discord together and we can discuss it proper there. Unplugged MST. Let's just let it sink in. Let's never stoop so low. We gotta uplift each other. I'll be back though. I'm drinking. I care about all you guys. Cooper shaved his beard. He looked like a goobat from South Park. Oh shit. I'm working on a couple of videos. The Great Divide and geomaxing is over for most incels. You need to be high functioning member of society to even geomax these days. The Overton window is closing fast. I'm ready to convert my thirst for a 2 out of 10 void into revolution. Men are also going for traps out of desperation. Men are going gay out of desperation, dude. What are you talking about? I look like Richard Cooper, only less fat. People can't even afford food, and we are supposed to afford trips to goddamn Belize. Found your stream through Drawlix. Last stream was high IQ as fuck. Def worth a sub. Heard that. Yeah, they're not always all high IQ, but I try. Remember when Lyndon said a revolution without a theory is doomed as a doomed revolution? See appropriate. I know. Education comes first before the revolution. Yeah, the definition of geomax is blurred. If you want to go on snuggles tourism, that is one thing. But if you want to leave the West for good, it's math difficult these days. Yeah, because like if everybody's doing it, then the price is like inflation. Everything's going up and up and up. The price of like a plane ticket is going to go up. The price of then the people and also the locals are going to get wise to that shit too after a certain point. Like, wait a second, all these Westerners coming over here, shit. And then when our girls, oh crap, eventually they're going to start fucking clamping down real fast. God damn. Some goddamn water or some shit. We're out of water already. Jesus. Yeah, we need a Discord. Do we need a Discord? I definitely do have. I do have a Discord. If people would ever join, I don't fucking know. Nico G. Yeah, they are making an example of Floyd and Bully, who tried to geomax and ruin their economy. He's so unplugged. He's on the spectrum. Yep. One is hard in the depressed economy. Men don't even have housing. How are we supposed to leave the West in mass? Nah. No place really wants Americans, especially black. Yeah, I agree with that one for sure. Midget life dating. Oh shit. I got to work another 12-hour shift tomorrow. Then I'm off for a few days. I make it then. I'm tired of sitting down. I'm tired of late on rot. We need action. Looks like a Skyrim NPC. That's me in 2 years, not gonna lie. Ew. Jesus. Yeah, unless you're a high-functioning member with a decent income to sustain you abroad, it's almost over for low-skilled men. This is like a badly drawn cartoon character. He just looks like autistic. Oh shit! You guys showed us that guy you showed us looks like a mix between Joe Biden and a fat boomer who beta bucks. Black Friday discount Bruce Willis. Oh shit, dude! Everybody clown this dude. When these red pillars go bald, they suddenly believe they're like Jason Statham in the film The Transporter. Dude, yeah. Oh yeah, look at Jason Statham. We can all be like him, dude, and be bald. Like, nah, dude. Men just get immediately like the looks pill is real when it comes to fucking being bald, dude. That hairline going back, dude, ain't stopping any sooner, dog. This is what gym maxing does for you boyos. You become an ogre at best. Yeah. He doesn't look like an ogre. He looks like fucking Shrek. Oh shit. What do you think of the percentage of men who are incel? According to the data, I think right now it's like 50%. If first is still here, if first is still here, he can confirm that. But I'm pretty sure it's like 50% of men are incels at this point. Yeah, he said it 50%. Joe Biden, 95%. Bring Dippin. Oh, someone. Wait a second. Who was this guy? No one wants to join. Stop the screen. There we go. Autistic Bruce Willis. My God. My God, that guy looks like a short, balding meerkat. Money and status is important for a revolution as well as guns. Putin's status max for sure. He definitely did. What do you think we were wage cooking for? Laughing my ass off. Modern lie dating. MLD. Man licking. Isn't MLD good? Gay? Or isn't he like some gay dude, right? The gay pill. He took the gay pill, right? Took it early. I don't know. He'll join my stream and then just like leave. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's just listening, hanging out, listening like everybody else. He's coping hard. Copenhagen, literally. We're all going to Copenhagen. So factual. The fuck is he doing in the woods anyway? I don't know. You tell me. Bruce Willis, G Inhib, Spurgy brother. High Inhib, oh. Testosterone is important for evolution. Already had looks, money, status, then went bald. So at Bruce Willis, the PU wizard is coping hard. Remember back when we were having heated debate? What if America split off into 25 socialist states and 25 capitalist states? What's the most realistic way to bring back balance into this shit, or is it going to be over for all of us in the end? I think it'll all balance itself out. Truth be told, systems have a tendency to self correct. The problem is that when that correction is bad or it feels bad to us, it doesn't feel like a correction that we like, obviously, but it's still a correction. So if we all end up extinct, well, the system did correct itself. It just corrected itself in a really extreme way. So who knows? The most realistic way would probably be to like women have to come to their fucking senses, dude, and realize that like there's more to life than fucking taking dick. How scary is it that Joe Biden was very clearly has late stage dementia, yet it doesn't really matter because the whole thing has been bought and sold years ago. Yeah, it really is weird the fact that he's like quite literally not in his right state of mind. He's like really fucking out of his fucking mind. He's like, yeah, I don't know. Politics is such a weird cope. I mean, I don't know how he's not gonna last fucking 4 years, that's for sure. TFM dated Bruce Willis. I'd believe it. Then it would just be a mixed economy, and those variants of success with capitalism functions on premise of infinite growth on a finite planet. As far as states, it would depend. It depends on which. I'm an accelerationist, so I'm cool with it. Stats. Truth. Wait, what? Wait, did I read that wrong? Oh, up here. I'm about to say, what the fuck? States. Okay. You are right to try to get my testosterone up. Should short ethnics give up at 19? Dude, it's over. It never even fucking began. Like, literally, you guys are like, fucked. Literally fucked. Oh, God. Go to my stream. Go to my channel. Go to your channel. Oh, boy. It's over for fucking yawn cells. Invite link. Copy to clipboard. There's the link again. If you want to join or not sure. No, I think you should give up birth. Laugh my ass off. Let's see. The reason why NK is the way it is because this land is largely unstable to farm, and geography is an issue to consider. Yeah, that's true. Part of it, the reason anyway. They have to rely on the rest of the world to fucking get anything passed and done. So I didn't choose to exist here. Yeah, join the club. First thing I'm gonna do is, if I become a dictator, I will take away women's rights and send the army to raid all social media HQs. Yes, social media is a huge part of the problem as well. Social media really is like that might be my next video about social media, how much it affects us, dude. This shit's fucking fucked. It's changed everything. It's changed everything. It's made things like it's turned every single problem, this beyond dating. It's turned every single problem you could possibly have into a mountain when it's really a molehill. So everything seems bigger than it really is. You have my support. What if Kamala Harris took over as president? What if? Probably already gonna happen, dude. Basically, The Handmaid's Tale. Oh boy, let's see. The better question is, could the government even be more soy as it is? What is left to even ruin? The cope we might have sex bots in the future is interesting because that would give birth to a new industry that which may be better genetics since we would be using custom made bots. At the current rate of decline, I guess that most, at least 40% of boys born right now are straight womb to tomb incel. At least in the West, womb to tomb. Dang, that's rough. The government is only gonna become soy. It's not only gonna become soy; it will become increasingly feminized, and gender roles will flip. So men will be maids. I forgot who was talking about flipping gender roles. Somebody had a good topic about this or a video about this. Who was talking about this? Somebody. I want to give credit to where credit's due, but I can't remember the person's name. But yeah, like the black community is a good example of like flipped gender roles, where like the women make kind of make more than the men do to some extent, and beyond that, like women are given more clout in the black community than men are. Like women are exalted, whereas men are like just kind of like it's really weird the way the dynamic is in the black community. So happy weekend, my dude. Best wishes. Oh, what's up, Escobar? Be the peace be upon us all. I think Biden lasts maybe 18 months after that he dies or steps down and Harris takes over. Yeah. We need to build Skynet, destroy all dating apps, problem solved, boyos. Yeah, dating apps suck. Worst thing is that men never change. We were always the same bastard their grandfathers were. Society and technology that we aren't the sons of the meeks. We aren't the sons of meek lookalikes. Yeah, we aren't. We've always been like these like ugly bastards. Like men aren't supposed to be attractive. Like men are supposed to be like maybe it was Mission. This guy named Mission makes pretty good videos about this, and like he talked about how like we've feminized men as well. Like those chads who are like constantly preening themselves and like in the mirrors and looking at themselves in the mirrors and being very solipsistic. They behave just like a woman as well. I've actually heard that a lot of the male Instagram models are actually gay. Not sure how true that is, but I've heard that's like kind of gay too as well. So who knows? So a lot of those men that like the women are thirsting after are probably already homosexual to begin with. I'm Gen Z and it's over, and about the generation that after it's so over for them. I could use the U.S. being ruined into a third world country. I could see the U.S. Oh, I could see. Yeah, literally never began for Gen Alpha. Yeah, it really didn't. Gen Alpha is womb to tomb. I am womb to tomb, and I am 17. Oh, somebody's trying to join. Oh, it's that one dude. Is it really him? Let's see if he wants to join. Let's do it, dude. You ready? Make sure you hide your mic or hide your camera. Keep reading comments here. Maids, do these people not know what servants are? Amen. And a woman. Black community just NC feminism IRL. Yeah, it really is. Like the black people are the canary in the coal mine right now. A simp and a masculine feminist women. Radio Pushka, notice how every next gen produced populace gets smaller and smaller. Your gen wouldn't have enough kids to support me when I'm a geriatric through Social Security. It's already over. Exactly. Womb to tomb don't even get born at this point. Yeah, it's over. It never began. Women like attractive feminine men the most from what I have seen. Yeah, they really do. It's really weird. Dead. Yeah, we're not gonna read that name, but whatever. Lit's pure peacocking. People with no money get the flashiest shit of the dumbest actions just to even be into reproduction game at all. Is why so many just leave for other chicks. Oh look, it's 666, the number of the beast. Hello. Hello. You're bringing that bad juju in here. How dare you? Should I add the stream now? Fuck it. It's over for Mike sales. What the fuck's this shit? Sounds like a fucking a motorcycle.
I don't know why my headphones aren't picking up. I'm sorry.
What's going on, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just don't know why my it's only picking up on the phone, not the microphone.
Oh, try changing your settings. I don't know.
Yeah, I keep doing it. It only gives me the option for the iPhone microphone, not the earbuds. 1 second.
That's really weird, huh?
Hold.
What's your favorite copes, guys? And what's your favorite cope? Um, not dying. How about that one? No, I like going to the gym. Gym sells probably my favorite cope. Let's see. I need to make a rope factory. Oh god. Having a Chad jawline is feminine. It's not, but like behaving like a fucking woman is fucking pretty feminine actually. Literally 2 billion years of genetic history ends with us boyos. It's true. Haha. What the fuck? Oh hell nah. I mean age. Let's see. This is the guy who basically said he's a field normie, self-admitted field normie. So he's trying to get his mic together. I think so we can get his settings together. Oh, you left the stream, but you can add to it. Trying to desktop. Oh, hold. Okay. Yeah, I'll hold for. Oh, you can come in later. That's cool. Either way, over for technology sales. Fucking boomer, dude. Can't handle the stream shit. Boomer. Top tier boomer. Incel army, you mean? All that just to fight India's incels while Africa's just waiting for 50 years. Be back in a sec, guys. I gotta get some water. I'm dying over here. You guys hear me? Back in business. All right, I got some water. Fuck, it's dying there. Okay. Oh, Richard Coper. Who's this guy?
Is it working?
I think so.
Yeah, I hear you.
I hear
All
you
right,
too.
all right, good. Yeah, I just did a different same name. Yeah.
How you doing, buddy? Doing good? Doing bad? Doing okay?
I'm getting a double audio. I don't know what that is.
Oh, are you getting it from your Oh, it's the stream open. Close the stream. I'm not sure if or either muted, I guess, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, one second. One second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to switch browsers because it wasn't working with Safari. That's all.
Okay.
So yeah, all right. Okay, so yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Um,
meet you too, buddy. We've been trying
yeah,
to
so
do this for like a
I
whole
was
month.
yeah. Well, I mean, things been a little crazy, but yeah, yeah. Basically, so I was looking through a lot of your videos on like the failed normie cyborg type of thing. I really did give it a lot of thought, and I kind of basically with my story is that uh, when I was in, let's say, grade school year, stuff like that, I was, like I said, textbook. I'd say probably I peaked about an 8, and I had gotten really, really injured and very, very sick in my early 20s, and the news to me basically was that once you're not kind of like at your peak, the amount of shit or how little people could care is actually astounding. Um, so kind of the odd story is I did get back on my feet, and I'm in this weird position that I've been both. Where, in other words, there was a period where I was, let's say the in crowd, then completely out, and then the in. And I guess it's a very, very weird situation. And I was relating to how you said how like you were a vol cell for a bit and things like that. So you sort of have a taste of that. And it's just, I think I do have a pretty good experience, but it's just sort of an odd experience. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, yeah.
so it's not just like, I've just seen it from actually almost every perspective. That's the best way I could put it. Uh, I've seen what it's like when it's very easy. I've seen what it's like when it's impossible. And now that I see what I had to do to get back, it leaves me in this very weird position because I know that if the floor ever fell out again, that everything I have is bullshit. Does that make sense? Whereas you were saying like the person who's never had to do that, they're still able to enjoy life in the sense that they don't know that. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense because like it only makes sense because like a lot of people they just follow the popular person, they follow what's cool, and they follow what's in style, and it's like you see this with trends all the time. Like people will follow a trend, that trend will get burnt the fuck out. People will stop listening and watching the trend, and eventually the trend dies. If you just compare that to people, it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same behavior as well. The moment that the person's hot in high school for a little bit, oh yeah, this person's the badass motherfucker. And the moment that person leaves high school, they become they're no longer the hot shit anymore, and they become less them. But yeah, like it's definitely true to the extent that like when you've been at your peak and then you reach a bottom, and then and then you hit a new peak, like it makes you appreciate really like actually being at the top a little bit more when you're actually at the top of your game. From my own personal story, like when I was in grade school and middle school, I was a very, very popular kid. And then I gained a fuckload of weight in high school. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like I just gained a bunch of weight. I was Volcel for like years. And then like when I
Mm-hmm.
lost the weight, now it's like a whole different story. Now it's like, whoa, like I got like
Right, and
women
you can kind of see,
contacting
you could
me.
now see both sides, kind of like that. It's like a weird, yeah. So I guess we're on the same page.
Yeah,
But
you're
yeah,
stuck. You're stuck in this weird in between state where it's like you realize the fakeness in people. Like the fakeness in people is
right,
so real. Like you realize how fake people are, and you also realize who your friends really are too as well. Like the ones who stuck with you through the bad times are oftentimes going to be the ones that you want to bring with you in the good times as well.
yes. But see, I guess that kind of brings a good transition. Where I got into a lot of this stuff was I had first started with the red pill crap, right?
Sure.
I had been with a girl for a long time, and we had a breakup, and that's how, a couple years ago, and that's how it started. And like typical, people get involved in that when they're in a bad period and whatever. But the point is, I think why I soured it really quick is I actually feel that as bad as being blue pill is, I mean, that's the worst. Don't get me wrong. And you're right when you say that new male shit, they're the enemy as much as anything. But I actually think when you say that certain cope is worse than other cope, that ironically the red pill, or let's say who really has control of it, we joke about Richard Cooper and all those, let's just call that swath of charlatans, are actually the worst thing for men right now. Even it seems ironic because they seem the most pro-male, but they are actually trapping people in a period where we actually have to be black pill to make it to the next stage. And I get the point sometimes when they knock black pill, I think because there's a part of it where it's sort of wallowing, and I know there's that, but I feel like with this stream I like because I think we all have to really look at how shitty it is to do better. You know what I'm talking about? And
it takes a lot of work and effort to do
selling
better.
40-year-old men. You got to think, well, it does, but I mean, the truth is, in that fantasy that there was ever a period where like men had this easy, maybe legally they had more, but the thing is, okay, up until about 1950, you had a 70% chance by the time you're 22 dying in a foreign war. Okay,
yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? So like this fantasy that ever worked that way. There was about a decade where the fathers knows best because it was the beginning of the Cold War. It was the idea of separating the United States from the Soviets and stuff like that. But even since the 60s, it's slowly eroded. And even that so-called father knows best period was really because it was in the post-war surplus that the United States had when we won.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
You know what I mean? Even that's a fantasy to a degree of men, that was also TV shows as much as the so-called feminine imperative or whatever. The truth is that the people at the top have always been in power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I still feel that focusing, like trying to go back to this childhood, boys be boys thing. All of it's bullshit. Does that make sense? Feminism bullshit. The red pills bullshit. It's all just some fucking bullshit. Like we really have to focus. And now this is our growth stage to make whatever comes next. But focusing on anything traditional conservative, trying to be a new male, it's all going to get everyone trapped. And that's why I think the only option really is this nihilistic thing to grow.
Well, yeah, you can't stop at the a nihilist pill though too. I think TFM and all his cope when he was on that one stream, when talking about fucking dolls and shit, he wasn't lying. He was kind of right about the whole nihilist phase. Where like you can't stop at nihilism. You have to like keep going and like almost like create your own reality or reason for being to some extent. That's actually what I think Kierkegaard says this. He's a philosopher. He's a philosopher. I think he's the one who talks about making your own path and like making your own way through life and making up a reason why. It's like absurdism. Like there's no reason to go on, but you go on anyway, just trying to make your own way anyway. And like
like a search for meaning. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
but again, I agree with that, and that's sort of my point. That I feel that even with, I mean, granted, I don't know what your viewer base is age and things like that, but I feel that, let's say with the red pill, it is true. It's the only, let's say, where they're correct is they're right. It's the only space where it's sort of, let's say, seemingly pro-male. But I'm trying to say that I feel that even our age, but the next generation, they really have to push beyond that sort of adolescent period, because anyone who's stuck in that is fucked. Even if you're a Chad, you are fucked. I mean, they're financially fucked. You know what I'm talking about? I know there's always those Jeremy Meeks, and even those are outliers. There are a lot of guys that they're nail and tail right now, and they are so fucked 5 years from now. You know what I mean? This is serious. This is really, I mean, if you think the worst thing right now, everything going is not getting, ass, that's the tip of the iceberg. I mean, this is serious shit. You know what I mean? And that's sort of the point, that it focuses. Yeah, of course, it's a huge problem, but it really is the result of I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's
You know
like
what I
this
mean?
guy here said, and put this comment on the stream here. He's like, Chad of today, the incel of tomorrow. It's true. Like a lot of these
Yeah.
men don't realize that they're like one. It's like you're playing the weakest link, and it's like like you keep getting eliminated and eliminated. And you get down to like two people left, and like you have two Chads on the stage, and it's like, okay, well, which one do you pick? And then she picks like the one Chad because he had like a better looking jawline. It's like that's it. Like that's the
Right.
only reason
Right.
you got rid of him. And it's like you're just gone. Like, and it's
Yeah.
like you are like you're one flaw away from being an incel.
Exactly. It's
You're
sort of like,
always
like when the housing market, do you remember? Because I know you did some investment. Do you remember when the housing market was, going crazy around '08, right?
yeah
There was a period where people were overbidding. I think that's sort of what's happened in the sexual marketplace. That even I'm saying, like, even let's say you could Chad Max, if that was a way to do that, like, if there's, would it even matter? Does it make sense? It's the whole thing is screwed up. It's almost like the best thing to do is to not get involved in it. I don't mean in a better bachelor, go your own way. No, that's a fantasy. I mean, really focus that you have to have self-reliance, not some fantasy of, what is he living in a fucking bus or something? No, not like that. I mean, yeah, you really got to, like, some of you guys, I know you're putting money away, things like that. Like you're talking about, this is going to be a 10-year type of thing.
It's gonna take a long time for the quote unquote system.
This is a decade change. Oh yeah, it's gonna take a while.
System to change itself to make things back to normal, and I don't think things will go back to normal without some sort of conflict. I mean, at the end of the day,
and not only that, it'll go back to normal, but it's never going to go back to what that was. That's what I mean. It's a whole fantasy.
Yeah,
that was post-war surplus era. You got to remember, it didn't exist before then, and it won't exist now.
Yeah,
It'll be another good thing, but never that.
It's the exact same thing with like
ever.
It's the exact same thing with in economics, where like socialists will point to the post-war boom of like the economic boom and say, look, we had
Yugoslavia. Yeah, exactly.
We had our tax rates were like 90%, and we had this great post-war boom. It's because of the tax rates.
Right.
It's like, no, it's because we were literally the only place on the face of the planet that had a plant that could actually do anything. And it's like, you can't point to that.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to remember, it was so fucked up in the world that we spent the first year surplus, so there was a deficit just to build up Europe because we had no trading partners. That's how fucked up everything was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So I think, honestly, the only way to do well now is everyone's got to get real and sort of accept that most people won't. So I feel anything that like gets you trying to either think that the past is coming back, I think even focusing on some of these women, and it's literally a waste of time. Not because it doesn't hurt, not because it isn't painful, but like, man, could you imagine being in heavy debt right now? Like, it doesn't, even if you were getting like, does it matter? Like, people are so fucked, they have no idea. Seriously. Oh,
yeah,
man.
the whole system appears to be
bankruptcy in 6 months. I mean, you're not even going to be able to get it. It's the shit is going to hit the fan so hard,
Yeah,
and,
the whole system is a house of cards right now. We're slowly pulling on the cards, and it's slowly collapsing as we all look at it.
Right, and again,
and
what I'm saying is, I think that focus on, let's say, like, people not getting laid, they got to look beyond that. You know what I mean? And that's sort of the problem. So I kind of liked your videos because a lot of the focus was sort of like beyond the iceberg. Make sense? And
yeah.
the tip of the iceberg. And I really think that that's the focus.
Which video got you to subscribe, if I may ask?
Well, honestly, I went through your whole playlist on the just like types of cells, kind of like that.
Yeah.
I found that interesting. Because I just put the auto on that. So, and what I also liked was, I don't remember the name was, but the one where you said, like, what is it? I'm not using the right title, but when you said, like, just because we can, should we? I don't remember the title on that.
Oh, just because you can't do something doesn't mean you should.
Okay, yeah, that was the one, and that one really clicked me because that's the thing. It gets to the point where it's sort of like that beyond freedom and responsibility type of thing, and I thought that's sort of the crossroads we're at. You know what I mean? Because basically, what's happened now, people have done that sort of like dog eat dog thing. Like, I'm going to get to the top, and it doesn't matter, not on my watch. But that's sort of the end result of what's going on right now. And maybe temporarily trying to get into that game will help, but when the whole thing falls, you'll get hit even harder. So I think it's really a time where we can't do that anymore. I mean, even on a personal level, you know what I'm saying? Because at some point you can't rob Peter anymore to pay Paul, and that's the problem, you know. And that whole thing, gaming and a lot of these weird financial things coming up. I mean, people got to get real, you know.
Yeah. I think a huge part of the problem is that America has such a hard on for freedom, and I don't think that freedom is all just cracked up to be really. Like, I think that freedom without constraint is bullshit. Like, your ability to be free as you want and do whatever the fuck you want is complete. It's a complete non-starter for me. Like, I'd rather have the constrained people. I'd rather have people have some sort of common sense and have some sort of like common moral constraints on them than just be completely free. Because we're seeing now what happens when you free people to let people do whatever they want. Chad has harems. Women don't ever fucking want women don't want to have kids, and they would just want to travel and shit like that. And then like you end up with like adults who don't want to take responsibility for their actions. And it's like you can't have a society or a functioning nation with a bunch of literal people who never grew up, running it. It just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Drolix, you got something you want to say? You keep joining here and leaving.
Oh yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh yeah, I had some trouble with the mic. It's over from mic cells.
It's over.
No, I just wanted to add like what Richard here is saying is like so absolutely true. So I could attest from my own experience. It's like I think in 2021 and beyond, like trying to get a woman is absolute waste of time. And that you probably need to be focusing on yourself. And the reason why I say is like, so like I'm in my 30s, so I can say for sure I've been had all the odd jobs, the crappy jobs, the shitty jobs, the quote unquote just jobs, right? Like most of these young generations, they don't have prospects for careers. And so everyone's just working a job. And over the 10 years that I was working jobs, it's like you're easily replaceable. When businesses suffer, you're the first to let go. And so, yeah, what you say is absolutely true. It's like, it's not about, getting voids. It's like literally sustaining or working yourself or working for yourself to put yourself in a better position in society.
Exactly. And that's why, sorry, my idea is you got to be a little bit up the hill. That's all. That's all that matters. And anything else is a waste of time. Because even if you get it, like that's my point. When I got really injured, I got to be honest. I'm going to be a dick right now. I'm really rich, and it doesn't fucking matter. I got to be honest.
Yeah, sure.
Until I was able to walk again and lose weight. I swear to God, like I know it sounds like a dick, and it didn't matter. So you could say all that. It just doesn't matter. So the best thing I did was work on my health and keep my money out of getting married with some asshole when I broke off with my girlfriend and. Like, that's the best advice to give someone. You really self-development. Not that men go their own way, like you're going to be an artist. No, I mean, real serious, like you got to take care of your own ass shit. You know what I mean? And until then, everything else is a waste of time. Literally.
Yeah, if I were to share some of my stories, right? Like, because I worked many, many years just working mostly food service, because that's where most people end up.
I worked retail myself, though. I did the retail world.
Yeah, it's either retail, some sort of sales job, some sort of food service job. It's always in the service industry. And those jobs are the most easily replaceable, low skill, easy to end, or barrier to entry is super easy. But anyhow, you can't like realistically sustain yourself or put yourself ahead in those kind of jobs, And so for me, it's like, I finally scraped up enough money. I invested in education and I went for a STEM degree. And one of the research topics I'm working on, try to make another video on, is like the Great Divide. And literally, I think people are already left behind, whether they realize it or not, period. So like
Yep.
in 2020, or I should say probably in 2015, if you weren't already in tech or related to tech jobs, it's like going forward, all these shitty jobs are gonna be replaced.
Yeah, they're
You know,
gone. Yeah.
yeah.
hmm
Like
They're
all
done.
these service industries, like the best one is Japan, right? Like you press a button, you get your food. Like that's simple. There's no servers, there's no waiters, there's no cooks.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, look to Japan. What's really happening? Like a lot of it
Yeah.
is already
Yeah,
automated.
Japan is like I think like 10 or 15 years ahead of us when it comes to like our development of like where we're going because Japan has had like
hmm
the thing about Japan is that like they've had an issue with their women not having kids for like god decades now, and they keep doubling down on like okay, well maybe we need to give women this and this to make them have more
Yeah.
kids, and it's like, well, no, that is not what fixes the problem. Like I hate to say it, but like the problem is the fact that you gave them those rights. Is the problem is whether they're not having kids because like the men aren't able to compete in the global job market anymore anyway as it is. So like they can't afford to have kids either. So it's like the economy affects everything. Your socioeconomic status affects everything. Like all these things, the social factors, the economic factors, they all come together and create a very very bad situation for Japan and America very, very soon. So
hmm Yeah, it's like an investment. When a company throws bad money at bad money, and they keep going, "Why are we hemorrhaging?" Is the same idea. It was this
yeah,
weird social experiment, and it's like they can't change it. Sometimes even if they want to, sometimes the level to change the laws at this point. So it's like it's really just it's got a hemorrhage.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
like it's basically bad a malinvestment, like as you just said. Like it's
right,
you
right.
made a bad bet on the future, saying that hey, if we gave women money
hmm
too, we can double our economy, which makes sense to some extent. But what you didn't
Yeah.
realize is that like they tend to spend their money on bullshit. They don't save money, and then they end up being in enormous amounts of debt. And then beyond that, you
Well. Here's
basically
my. I'm glad you said that. Here's my
you fuck
point.
your
Can I
future
add
as
something to
well.
that? Yeah,
Yeah, go
but I
ahead.
think that here's sort of the thing. I when I say it's a social experiment, just could you repeat what you just said about them spending so much? Because that's my point
What women spend too
about
much
women.
money?
Just repeat what you just said about that women yada yada. They spend too much. Like repeat that, and that's the point.
Women spend too much and they have a lot of debt too as well. Like they just,
Yeah. Well, my point. Here's my point. I don't think they don't know that.
I think they know that
That's
as well.
the
Like I
thing.
think that's the whole
Well, that's
point.
right. But what I mean is a lot of times people seem to have this belief that they're unaware. Like that's why I think it was selected to do that. With all the analytics these days, a lot of these types of decisions can be made. You know what I mean? Now, it doesn't mean that doesn't fuck everything up. But when they wanted to switch the economy to a consumerism, plus with the artificial intelligence coming in, doing a lot of the manual labor jobs, I think it was a very true decision. They decided to switch to, let's say, more feminine. But the idea that it's because it's to help women or it doesn't matter. It was
Just
a very, very much an economic decision.
for
Make
this
sense?
guy's comment on the
Because
screen here, like women
oh, I
had
can't
this
see. Sorry.
level.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, this guy named James Asmat said
hmm
women do
Yeah.
6% of the spending, and literally like no, it's literally they've always done the most spending, even when they didn't have a job
hmm
because like men will just give them the money. Like this is
Well,
what
they were spending hard assets, though. It was
yeah,
different. The difference. This is for consumer non-durable goods,
yeah,
and now that our whole economy is Uber Eats, who do you want having control of the money? No, I mean that's what it is. It's
yeah.
fucking boxes and teenagers driving around people's Chipotle. I mean that's what it is.
It's true.
And Wall Street. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
if I have
consumerism.
to add anything to that, slightly, overall big picture, what is capitalism, right? And it's just like this fallacy of infinite growth, which can't be sustained forever. So what feminism did was great for a short term because now women have all this stuff, and then one of the biggest things that half of them are completely fucking clueless is that this drive to push Floyds to college, and you get them more in debt, so they're all like pursuing this pencil pushing degrees, and it's
hmm
apparent even more so now in this COVID-19 economy that it's like all the pencil pushing jobs disappear. They realize that their degree is absolutely 100% worthless in this day and age, and then it's like a way to trap people into being a debt slave, continuously always
Yep.
paying into your
Exactly.
college loans and this
Yep.
and that.
You took out a mortgage. You used to be able to take a mortgage on a home. Now you're taking a mortgage on a degree that's worthless 2 years after you graduate, but for the same 30 years.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like they're
that's what
going
it is.
into 100K in debt, and when
Yep,
they
or
graduate.
more. You ever seen what like the graduate school is?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Jesus
You know
Christ,
what I
it's
mean? Yeah,
insanity.
yeah.
No, and then on top of that, after you graduate, how the hell are you gonna make that kind of money? So I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I got a
Especially for
computer
the
science
degree you
degree.
got.
Mm-hmm.
I got a CS degree. Like I did it smart way. I went through community college, paid the least.
So
Freaking
did I.
2 years. Yeah, 2 years at
And the first,
university.
yeah, because of the course is the same. Yeah, that was smart. Yeah.
Yeah, and then 2 years of university at the university level was like
Mm-hmm.
almost 60,000. It's like 30,000 a year
Yeah, I got
instant.
extremely lucky with my college degree education debt. I actually don't have any debt at all from Skeptics College because my dad was a veteran, so I just got not the GI Bill, some other program my state had, so I could go to any school in my state for free, tuition free. But it
Mm-hmm.
just worked out in my favor. Like so, I ended up I drove to school, which sucks. I didn't have a college experience, but at the end of the day, I don't really care. I can walk to school debt free with a decent degree in accounting, so it works out for me. But
Yeah, and my first job out, it paid like 75K a year, and then now it's like I'm making over six figures. So it's like a STEM
Wow, man.
degree. Yeah, a STEM degree will definitely like pay off performance that you get into the right industry and you put in your hard work. But like all these
Yep, but I feel
majority
like
of
even you got in when you got in. See, that's the thing. You got in a little earlier. Some of these guys, these guys, if they come out 22, I don't know if
oh
even that
oh
will.
yeah, I can imagine it's so hard for it.
Yeah.
Like I had really hard time as a fresh grad trying to find a job. So I in
I
this
mean, I don't even know
economy,
what
I
they're
can only
now.
imagine how
like
bad it is.
I couldn't imagine graduating in 2008. Like that must have been like literal hell on earth. Like imagine coming out of college, you have this like I don't know a 30-40K student loan debt, and you have zero job prospects. There's nothing out there
Yeah,
because like the entire
zero.
economy is literally imploded on your way out of college. like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus
so when
Christ.
Richard says, yeah, you're right, man, it's like you're either left behind or, you need to be working towards putting yourself in a better position for the future.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. And that's the only thing. So that's sort of my point that all this other stuff, like I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. I know it's fucking hard not having, a woman and, stuff like that. Again, also, that as they always say, you got $20 in your pocket, whatever that thing, but still, I get it. But really, it's just like years ago, men had to focus and build themselves instead of just worrying about chasing tail. Like, this is the worst time to be worrying about tail as your main focus. I mean, people are out of work. I think the election was fixed. I mean, who knows what's going to be going on in a year? All I could say is you'll do well if you get real.
I actually think
Yeah,
we're gonna
have
have
you
a
Time to grow
live.
the fuck up. I don't know what to say.
I think we're
have
gonna
you
have
guys
a
heard like Texas, Joe Biden killed the pipeline deal, like
yeah.
120,000
Oh
people
yeah. Oh
lost
man.
their
Oh
jobs.
shit. If you think, I gotta tell you something. When people think like with the whole electric grid shift, do you know how much money Exxon has? In their full
Enough.
endowment. Like if you think they're just disappearing, no. What I'm saying is you think they're just disappearing. Oof, no. They're gonna counter whatever bullshit went on the last election. I mean, there's gonna be, the best thing you do is basically just not pay attention to any of this stuff. Also, that's why I think like with social media, also it's whoa man, there's gonna be a dogfight for a decade. It's a decade. There's not a year type of thing. It's a decade until there's a full transition, especially when a lot of those people die off. Because this is the end result of their whole open society bullshit they've been working on since the mid '90s. I mean, that's the truth, So we can focus on everything: women this, men that. It's no. It's very serious, And if people
Let
want
me
to be
get
men,
your opinion,
part of
because
it.
I think I said this last stream. Like our so-called leaders, what is it? Nancy Pelosi is like 80. Like
Oh yeah,
all these
they're all gonna die
politicians
about
are
the same
a
time.
relic,
Oh yeah,
and they're trying to make
yeah.
plans for the
They're all in
future.
fucking dirt. They have no
Taking their
clue what's going
last
on.
Yeah, I
stab.
think I said
These
this last
people
stream.
who have
Yeah.
they've grabbed everything their entire lives. This is like their last stab before they do their proverbial deathbed confession, which already a couple of them have. They pledged their money, in their Carnegie-esque, to that whatever Bill Gates fund or whatever. You know what I mean? And but they're going to take their last stab for their inheritance, and that's it. After that, that's when shit's really going to hit the fan.
And the sad part is, like, the people who take over after them are like 55 times worse than the people who are there right now. Like,
and less competent.
yeah, that's the
Their
sad part about
brood,
it.
their brood is it's kind of like, with the, remember when Sam Walton died? When his kids took over,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they did well financially just because of their
Walmart.
their equity state. Well, I mean, the equity stayed in it, but they were horrible at managing it. They very quickly they went and gave it over to the board. So that's what I sort of mean with these things. I think, like, when that next generation comes up, they're not even know what the fuck to do. They want the power, but they're not seasoned either to sort of keep that type of political clout. So there's going to be this massive vacuum coming up when they all die. All those boomer politicians within like a 3-year window are going to get dementia or die.
Yeah, and the problem is, like, we've done enough.
True, it's reality. I don't know what to say.
We've done
There
nothing.
was a pretty based paper that I read on the study on wealth and generational wealth. And the generational wealth left behind, it gets worth with less and less with each succeeding generation. So like if your dad had tons of money and then the son inherits it, the son is probably gonna blow like 50%. And whether the son has a grandson, like it won't be the same amount of wealth that gets passed on, if at all. So this whole idea of generational wealth is bullshit.
Well, that's also my point about holding, because you have the best chance of passing if you hold. It really is. I would say like this the whole time, like self-development, but really hold. Any other weird things, anything, women, marriage, loans, anything, don't get into it now, because everything could get pulled, and there's people. I mean, look at even this stimulus when it goes through. How much? What, $1,600 are coming in? And people are still not up in arms. I mean, holy shit, man.
Yeah, that's $600 is a joke.
They pay rent.
It's like it's a joke. People don't even, and that's the thing. Like, holy shit. I don't know what has to click. Like, what do they think's coming in next? What check? What, a $50,000 check? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like people have been out of work for 6 months and then or more, and then it's like, oh, here's a $600. You're fine. No,
and they're still writing over identity politics when they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to heat their homes. Holy shit! You know
what the icing on the cake would be? So then it would be like, oh, if you're a void, you'll get $800, and if you're a man, you'll get $600.
Oh, maybe they'll do that. Yeah, they'll close the gap. They can make up whatever they want. They make up whatever they want. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I don't know. Again, I'm not trying. I'm saying this not to be negative. The whole point what I was trying to say is this is the way that we can get better, but you kind of have to see the dirt. Make sense?
Yeah. Well, the truth is often negative sometimes. Like, the truth isn't really fun half the time.
Yeah. Basically, you know what Patton said? I mean, I'm paraphrasing a bit. He said there's two, when he was in the war, he saw two types of crazy people. The one guy who fucking lost his mind, and the other guy who knew what was going on. And they both were like biting their nails. Make sense? You know, kind of like that.
Yeah.
And that, that's kind of where it is. You're either going to crack or persevere. But anything else, doing that sort of 21st century cabaret culture where you're going to be on Tinder, you're fucked.
Yeah, but one thing that scares me about the future is the fact that our leaders are like completely incompetent. They have no clue what they're gonna do. Our current leaders, they might be corrupt, but at least they're competently corrupt. Like, if that makes any sense. So at least they have some clue how to actually wield power. Like, the problem is that the boomers did zero training of their successors, and now they're wondering why are our kids so incompetent? Well, it's your fault.
Yeah. Like, why is my kid such a fucking moron?
Like, who do you think taught him how to be a fucking moron? You did. Like, you didn't teach him at all. You just let him like wallow around in school and become a fucking retard, and then he got caught up in this social justice bullshit.
Yeah.
And
he'll be able to manage this hedge fund just fine. Yeah, sure. I
mean, case in point, look at AOC, right? From
yeah.
Well, the thing is that it would make sense if she came from like money, but she just a fucking like bartender or some shit. But like, I'm talking about these people who
a bit of a
dynasty.
token. I mean, she's like, the point is, even with her, is that even if she sort of pulled her way up, like she's not really. It's not because of a woman thing or something. But is she? Think about it. Okay, let's say the politics really worked in like the the Revolutionary Era way, where they were doing all the work, and it's not some like large oligarchy. Let's pretend that for a second, okay?
Sure. Yeah.
How the fuck would someone like that even do their job properly?
Yeah. They
It's not even
wouldn't.
their fault. Even if she was a genius, how would you run it the way they think she could run it? She can't. Makes sense. They're all basically faces. They're a face that's in front of the oligarchy. It doesn't matter. You couldn't, even if you were that smart, you couldn't run something that way. So they're just the face for the public. So even her, she's put there because she had whatever they felt was the right look. You know what I mean? Does she do anything? Does Camilla Harris, like, does it matter? It doesn't mean, that's what I'm saying before. When you say Biden, does it matter? Like, it only matters that the public perceives a certain way. He's not actually doing what people think he does. And Harris won't. And Trump wasn't. They're all a face for a group. Does that make sense? Like there's these large groups that have boards that are behind these people. They're not like just sitting there. I mean, what do you think? They're on fucking wagons? Is it colonial era? I mean, it's absurd.
Yeah. It's the word is the figurehead, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're figureheads in the sense that maybe they have power in the sense that they're 1/1000th of their group. You know what I mean? Maybe Trump had a little bit because of his amount of money and then he had his own connections he built. But these people are behind power groups. Even Hillary, they're in those Rodham trust funds. To think that they're running it in the way like George Washington did is laughable. That means someone has the civics education of a 7th grader as a 40-year-old. It doesn't work like that at all, you know? And that's why I say even focusing on who's in, you got to see what the policy is. It doesn't matter what face is smiling at you. You know?
You know what's real funny and ironic is that during George Washington's time, they were fighting for 2% taxation by the British.
Mhm.
And in 2021, the government's taxing us at 60%.
Right.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it just,
And we still haven't gone to war.
Yeah, still nothing. Because someone's Uber Eats still being delivered for now. So it doesn't matter, you know?
You guys think we're gonna reach some level of like a UBI at some point? Like you're gonna have to do it at some point?
It's gonna be a 2080 problem. Just standard Pareto now. So 80% of the population are gonna end up in these large metro swaths on virtually welfare. Either because they're low skill or they don't have enough to invest, and that's just the nature of it. Eventually, you're not going to know what to do. I mean, at some point, it becomes like, what do you kill people? I mean, they're not going to be able to do anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the only thing they become is that it's easier to keep a consumerism grinding machine. So what I really think is going to happen is the cities are sort of going to have what they call like urban sprawl, and then other areas are going to become sort of consolidations of wealth. So you're going to see this sort of like 2080 type of thing. But the city is going to go to shit. It's going to span into the burbs, and people are going to be on UBI. How quickly? They're just, a lot of people already are. People are on Section 8, people on welfare.
Yeah.
They'll just make it into a large pool because they need to control the money. People will apply for whatever assistance, and that's just what's going to happen. Because eventually, I think even if there was a Republican administration, or what do you call right wing, it may be something that's just going to happen, because eventually there's a large part of the population that really, I mean, unless you completely close borders and things like that and people want to go back to having union type jobs, what are people going to do?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I don't know if you guys watch sci-fi. I was watching The Expanse, and so being sci-fi, it's like projected 400 years into the future. And Earth is basically its own nation. There's Mars and then the outer belts. And what's funny is what's happening on Earth is that basically 90% of the population live on UBI. And it's only the 10% that actually get to ascend to the upper echelons of society, like in government and space travel and all that stuff. So yeah, it's like where do these people go? It's like they're low skilled, no prospects. It's just the only way to sustain them is UBI,
Yep.
and even that is just terrible.
So it is. But I think what's happened, and that's what scares me, is that it doesn't seem to click. And I think that's how dumb people have become. They very clearly shown that they're not capable of even living at a certain level. So that's just what's going to happen. See, what I'm more pissed about if that's going to happen, I just don't like this administration. They're going to try to drag us all down. That's really the problem. They're going to try to pull everything back. So make it like 1% 99. 2080, we can still do something. If that, we're totally boned, you know? But I don't know if that's sustainable.
And obviously, it's gonna create more
70% of the
incels for
population is
sure.
going to. Well, yeah, I mean, at some point they can't do that, but they'll create a bottleneck. But I would say, yeah, most people are kind of screwed. And the odd thing is, most of the people who sort of the most screwed seem to be the ones ushering this new age in the quickest. I mean, they're the ones who have to, and they're just not, you know?
Yeah, they're looking for hope or cope wherever they can find it. Really, at the end of the day, they're looking for like looking for a way out. And a lot of times that that way out appears to be like, most people tend to just kind of like follow the leader typically, and it's like, you because of that you end up with people who just follow blindly, and just the blind leading the blind at the end of the day. These people have no clue what's going to happen in the future. They have no clue. They only think that their plan is going to work out in the end, but they have no clue. And like people just want hope or wherever they can find it at the end of the day. So
Right.
they're trying to cope the best way they can to get through life. And then when someone tells them, "Oh well, we'll take care of your problems. We'll take care of your problems really fast," people will fall for it every time. This is how you get fascism, basically, or any sort of like authoritarian government. Is where things get really bad, and then people will look at that shining star or that hero to come save the day and make everything go away.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it basically what's happening right now with the Biden? It's like the Democrats are just like trying to make this UBI happen faster for sure.
Well,
We're effectively going back to Rome's bread and circus, really, because that's what
Yep.
Rome did for years. Bread and circus was all they fucking. That's how they ran Rome, with bread and fucking circus.
it was
a video called Bread and Circus,
it was
actually,
the
but
consumerism of antiquity. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Instead of building Circus Maximuses, they're building more fucking streaming programs on Disney Plus. But same idea.
The Super Bowl, and watch this sports game, and watch that sports ball,
Yep.
and watch
Yep.
Disney, and watch the new Disney movie, and watch this one here, and watch
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is a distraction to the next distraction until
Yep.
finally it's
Yep.
not going
None
to
of
work
it matters
anymore.
until
everything's
useless.
just one huge cope. The
Yeah.
ultimate cope. The ultimate bread and circus cope. Like I said, you just eat bread and go to the Circus Maximus. Like I said, just hang out at the Coliseum, watch watch the show come in, and then while Rome's fucking getting fucking destroyed, everyone's hanging out at the Circus Maximus, fucking just hanging out, farting and drinking and eating bread. Nobody cares.
No, they don't.
Like that's one thing I come to realize about the world, is that people don't really care about problems until they're at their doorstep, and then at that point it's too late.
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Jack Nickelback wants to join. What the fuck? Is this really him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
barbarians
it's the
at the
actual
gate.
person. Hold on.
Holy shitter! What's up, Jack?
Hey.
Nickelback.
Sorry, just getting set in.
You got something you want to add?
Say what?
You got something you want to add to the convo?
Well, we're talking about all this against the backdrop of automation, so you can't forget that how does capitalism work without work being needed from humans? So,
It's because the capital becomes the labor. That's the problem. It doesn't change the equation. It's just that when the labor is the capital, artificial intelligence covers both parts. That's the problem. Because eventually there is no labor market by humans, but there's still labor. When a robot puts together a car in a factory, it's doing the function of labor, but it's also capital. That's the new paradigm. Does that make sense?
Sarah,
Never had that before. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. So what I'm saying is the general economic function is there's capital and labor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like you buy a new machine. Let's say they make the cotton gin, and then you don't need a certain amount of workers, or if you don't have a machine, you need a certain amount of workers more, et cetera, right? And that's what sets the price of the machine, and that sets the price of the labor and the price of the good, right? The problem is as artificial intelligence gets better, it starts to be the labor itself, right? So the capital, which is owned, let's say, by the company, also becomes the labor. So the function still works. It's just that the human is put out. Something's still making something. Something's still thinking something. That doesn't change, but it's not done by a person. It's only done by the owner. So the capital is all inclusive. That's the problem. And the smarter it gets, the more of those things get included.
Yeah, I see three possibilities with that. One, you have companies that don't need anybody else. You have governments that don't need anybody else. And to a certain point, you have the machines themselves that don't need anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, even the machines become replaceable. But again, what I'm saying is that really is what the shift has been.
I know. I was talking about it's like totally autonomous, don't need any external factors because are the units. But
No, I think you guys bring up a good point. Like, when the ATM came out, like the automatic teller machines, and they thought that, oh, it's gonna wipe out all those bank teller jobs, but in fact it doesn't actually do that. Um, but then I think going beyond, like you say, the inclusion of AI and such. So like I'm a computer programmer. Like I write some of this automation software and stuff. So this stuff's very real. But I think where the real divide is, it's like as things get better and smarter and more automated, for the average Joe, so to speak, it's like they just get left behind. It's like for the average person or the average populace, there's just no room to get into the labor force because it's so finely controlled, so to speak. So I think that's just going to exacerbate the problem in general. But yeah, I don't think it's all going to disappear. It's just that the barrier to entry for any one low skill is just going to vaporize.
I don't think it all has to disappear. It just has to be enough to destabilize society.
Oh, you mean like that we hit a tipping point? Oh, you're not arguing whether that's changing. Yeah, I mean, that's possible, but I don't know when we're going to hit it if it's too late. That's the problem.
Oh, I definitely say within 10 years, definitely.
I hope so, but I feel like people had to get angry 5 years ago, and it doesn't seem to be that way.
Yeah.
No, I have my own theory on this. So right now everything is going cloud. And then the great thing about cloud is this more computing power. And so then, all these self-driving cars, like, why do you think they're investing in it? It's like taking the human element out. So as soon as this happens, all your Uber Eats drivers are gone, all your Uber drivers are gone. Even the commercial truck driver job industry will probably diminish, at least for the human.
It does make me wonder because what's the point of all this immigration that the left keeps pushing for? Then what exactly is the point of this? And when in reality,
cheap labor. No, honestly,
for now, like
for now, I
long
think
run,
it's cheap labor and the votes. So there is a timeline between where we reach that peak, and so until we reach that, we need these cheap labor and more votes to keep those politicians in power till they can enact and realize this automated vision.
Too, because it's cheaper to keep the machines not here. That's also the truth.
No, basically the amount of money capital required to get the machine running and going is more than what it costs to actually bring in someone else from like a third world country to get the job done. Basically,
for certain things right now, yes.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And also a lot of times it's also part of the agreement. Makes sense because a lot of these things you got to remember when, like for example, when people say, I don't want to try to be offensive, but here people say the Mexicans are coming. Most of the Latinos that come from Mexico aren't even from Mexico. They're coming from South America. From other areas that are very, very poor. And I'm not blaming them. I understand why they want, besides the criminal element, there's many people who want a better life. The thing is, like Mexico doesn't want that surplus, let's say, from Central America, but they still want to have factories. So it's just this whole interconnection of immigrant labor. I mean, it's the same thing in Europe when they want to embrace immigrants. it's the same thing. Cheap labor to pay for their very, very expensive social reforms. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? And again, this is not, when we talk about this, it sounds like we're knocking them on. No, the bottom line is the government does not let people in except on small scale at this amount for humanitarian issues. It's an economic issue, and that's it. So all these other things are every other reason people have is false. It's completely economic, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not their fault, but to sit here and start to argue as if like it's anything else, it's just not, you know? I mean, this is the same fucking government that, I mean, they'll barely do shit for anyone, including the people that come here. They let them come in, but then they'll just let them die in the street. So you think they give a flying fuck? No, it's all economic because it outbids a union worker. They pay weird types of taxes, you know, because of they're undocumented or whatever. You know what I mean? That's really what it is. It creates a bidding war for labor.
Also, it keeps a stable population too.
Yeah. Or that too, right? But again,
Yeah.
the point is economic issue. But people, it gets boiled down in the public on social media as if it's some humanitarian. I got to tell you, they couldn't give less of a fuck. To be
Yeah,
honest.
that I agree with. They don't
You
care
know what I
about
mean?
people
Like,
at
that's
all.
all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
100% agree.
Hell no, they don't even care about people they're related to in some sort of way.
Oh, yeah.
They're supposed to care about South America. You South Americans don't care about South America. No.
the thing is that if we say something, then we get yelled at as if like we're not being open minded. It's like, bro, they don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying. Like, that's what it is. So
Yeah, and I clearly think there will be a tipping point when, you know, cloud gets good, AI gets good, machine learning gets good, to the point where majority of society could get automated, and that's when the real shit will hit the fan. And then, you know, at least I'll be the one writing the code for automation and maintaining it, right?
That's the thing, though.
the 80-20. I think the only thing we can do is that's what I'm trying to say. If you want to black pill the fuck out of yourself, the only thing you can do is invest in it. There's nothing else. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You got to remember, these are the same people that left you in the shit. The same thing people came incels. You just got to invest in their own demise. There's nothing else.
I do have thoughts about this, though. I think the social situation is going to deteriorate before the economic situation does. And I try to bring this up to people, but I think the incel phenomenon, but basically the devaluation of male sexual worth is so depleted now that within 10 years, and before you even get the chance to jump over to an automated society, they're already going to lay down and rot, and it's going to be a cataclysm. I think you're going to have the apocalypse before you have automation.
So you think like people are gonna sort of drop before they get there? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not arguing.
As a society, yeah. Like look at where we are on a Saturday, and this is normal now. Like imagine the world after COVID and people come out. Yeah, I'm gonna get busy. I'm gonna get to do all this, and they come to a world where everybody's used to online dating.
Yeah.
And all they have, like, look, all you have in the world is a bunch of C students that just get by in life. And you take that little bit away, what do they have? Depression and wanting to spread that depression through death or just killing themselves slowly. I mean, laying down the rot, that's just suicide by another means.
Yeah. I feel like as long as they order pizzas, the system couldn't care.
No, eventually they will not care to order pizzas. There's only so much coping you could do in life.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it's a race condition. Which one will collapse sooner or achieve faster?
I don't know. I almost feel like the narrative could be so set that I don't know anymore. Like I'm actually shocked at this point that more people aren't going bananas. Well, and that actually scares me. That I've seen that people aren't. You know,
that's because you're framing it as Elliot Rodger, let me go out there and kill people. Now that's definitely coming, but you need to take in mind that most people are cowards. They don't want to they don't want to face the law, do all that. They just want to live. Most people are just going to silently die inside.
Yeah, as long as people have something still left to lose, most people won't rebel. Like that's what they figured out years ago. Now is like if you give people a reason to not rebel, they won't rebel. Obviously, so like yeah, I said
It's a big
a
deal with
wife and kids, a family, a
UBI,
car, a house. They don't want to lose that. So
basic income. Big deal with basic income. You speak out. What happened with your check?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna take
Yeah, that's the
$2,000 away
fear
from
of
you.
cancel culture too, you know.
Yep.
Oh
But
God, yeah, that
I
was
mean,
a
if you look at the BLM riots like 6 months ago, it's like the majority of people getting arrested are young single males. Period. Like they don't have much to lose as well either. So I think in any society, abundance of excess men that have no prospects is the most dangerous thing.
Yeah, I mean, men are the incarnation of energy. It goes somewhere. No, and if it can't go anywhere, it just ruins the container. And right now, that container is the law in society. So if it has
Yeah,
nowhere to
but I
go,
think
no
it
outlet.
we may even have to go somewhere else. Is what my point is. I think it's sort of dead here. I think they're very, very entrenched.
That geomaxing takes money,
Yeah, that's
Well,
another
and
topic I'm
we're
kind
in
of
a
working
depression
on.
right now. So
like 30 minutes explaining that people. That's why you got to hold. If you got anything,
and
because
you have to take in mind, not everybody knows about geomaxing. We're a small segment on YouTube. It's not everybody's black pill. What if you're just some blue pill idiot who doesn't know all the options out there?
well,
You're just
that's the
like,
thing.
things are getting worse. I feel bad, but I don't know what I can do. Or
Well,
even if you're just some red pill coper and you're thinking,
yeah,
I just got to get to that next level of doing 10 reps at the gym and I'll be Chad. Like,
yeah.
No,
Yes,
I
that
mean,
doesn't
not
matter.
to switch topics here, but I kind of 100% agree with Richard. It's like you have to hold and work your best to, put yourself in a better position in society. And the Overton window for geomaxing, I think, is closing fast. Like,
yeah.
that stuff was a 10-year ago thing. If you listen to some conversations of expat that did, actually live that life, it's like all of them are saying it's getting worse and worse and worse.
I
Yeah,
think,
and it's shipped to another country. You got to remember, we also maybe for the human race it is. For us though, unless we're going to live forever, which I don't think we are, it'll move to another country. There's still spots. There's a lot of no. There's a lot of shitholes that remember it will flood into there too. So I just think they wanted open borders, right? Okay, and not just in terms of labor. That's what they want. They want open borders, open currency. So if that's what they want, that's the game. That's the game we got to play, and that's the only way to win. Make sense?
and there's one more point about geomaxing where it's going to close really fast. You already have Elon Musk out there with Starlink. Eventually, every place on Earth is going to be connected by the internet. All right, so everybody here knows the conclusion for that one. And hypergamy. It's already written into the cards that it's over. There's going to be nowhere to run to eventually.
Yeah, it's closing fast. Like, I mean, if you actually look at what it takes to, go to another foreign country, like, for example, like in Southeast Asia, like China doesn't even allow you to come for a business visa unless you have a, what do you call it, a university degree. It's like they don't want idiots coming there. Uh, South Korea, like the most common route is like teach English. And it's like most of us are autistic or whatever. That's why I said earlier, it's like you gotta already be a high functioning member of society in order to even, exercise your global skill set, so to speak.
I mean, you just said it right there. If even the high functioning people are having problems, how much hope is there for the average man?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It's like it may have been an option 10 years ago, but yeah, it's closing fast.
Well, I think maybe I have a little different definition of geomaxing. I don't mean like in just a dating way. I mean it more like establishing yourself because
Oh no, I mean both. I mean, but always.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if business is drying up in that sense. I think maybe the concept of having some dumb waifu or something is changing, but I still think there's always options, and I think that's sort of what they want. So that's what I feel like you have to sort of accept that that's the game. The concept of the old nations is sort of broken, and you got to play with what the new rules are. You know, so that's sort of like I said, why I'm saying I'm mad at Blue Pill, I'm mad at Red Pill, because they're all sort of they're trying to get you to max on old rules that don't exist. You know what I'm saying? So I say, well, you got to kind of play by the rules of the actual game. You know?
Yeah, everybody's mind tends to be stuck in the age in which they grew up in. So like they're probably stuck in the 90s still, or stuck in the 80s, and it's like, okay, well, that's easy for you to say. Like you grew up in the 80s and 90s. Like you can't keep passing around the same game from like 20 years ago, 30 years ago now to employment to today. This doesn't work.
Nah, bro, just wear some Axe body spray. You get them off.
Axe body spray. God damn.
That'll work.
Tactical soap.
Tactical soap. Oh yeah. Please, Jesus Christ.
Your beard oil.
Oh,
right?
a women Eve.
Yeah. Beard.
Women Eve. Fuck me. Oh my god. But yeah, like, and it's the same problem I have with politics. It feels like we've been like in this time warp. Where like we've been like stuck in like the 1950s and 60s for like, especially the black community, because like the old heads aren't dying fast enough. So like we're stuck in like this weird time warp where like we can't escape our like this like Jim Crow, this weird like stuff like that, where it's like the same issues keep popping up because our old head politicians are still stuck there.
Again, I'm talking as a cracker here, but a big part of that is actually from white people.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because they keep bringing it up because once again they all want to have their 1960s moment where like we unite with the black community and we can all hold hands and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
They need to get rid of the Black History Month, like
Exactly. They bring that shit up because it keeps it still on that line. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Kumbaya shit. And it's like, okay, I hear you. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm not like discounting the oppression of African American because I am one. But like, it kind of comes down to like, at what point do we keep pushing the envelope? Like, we can't keep going back to like the same politics in the 1960s and 50s in order for us to keep, in order for us to move forward as a society. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And meanwhile, the ghettos like sprawl in blue states like it matters. I mean, that's where the biggest urban sprawl is. You know? But yeah, the whole thing is ridiculous. Everything is just to get you fucked. It doesn't matter. Even things that seem nice, it's to get you fucked.
See, Daniel Jivers, what is the technology for? I would say at this point, our technology is created to create better technology.
Fair enough.
We go forward, that we might go forward more. That is it.
Yeah, it's basically progressives always teach this like progress for progress' sake without thinking of the ramifications of the actions. This is why I used to be very, very progressive, I guess, when it came to politics, until I came to realize it seems to me like these people are just pushing the envelope just because they can, and not because they have an actual real reason to actually like push for stuff like trans rights or gay rights or stuff like that. It seems like they're just doing it because they think it's like the right thing to do. But like it seems to me like there's no end to it. Like they push for one thing, they push for the next thing, and it's like, okay, at what point are you going to stop pushing the envelope? Like at what point is like this become immoral to keep pushing this envelope, to keep pushing society forward in this weird direction?
Right.
I mean, beyond that, just ask them to describe what forward is.
Yeah, that's
get
really
1,000 answers there.
It doesn't mean it. That's the thing. I think sometimes even getting focused on like, let's say this right and that right. I still think there's a bottom line, and that's the thing. It's not even. You get into this weird situation, like you say. Well, what do you take away rights of those people? It's not that. It's that. It's what's earmarked with each of those decisions. That's the real issue. You know what I mean? So it's like, if they, let's say, allow, let's say, gay marriage or something, right? Okay. Is it the gay marriage that destabilizes the country, or is it whatever weird rules around it that allowed that bill to pass? And that's really the problem. Make sense? So it's like, it's the whole shift in society. Like the rest of it's window dressing. I mean, I'm not asking, you know what I mean? So it's like, if they allow, let's say, okay, they go, women in the workplace. They go, okay, is it bad that women in the workplace, or is that the workplace rules change? Your payroll tax changes. That's really what matters. You know what I mean? But people get focused more on the social issue when that really is the window dressing to the main agenda. And that's with all these things, So it's like if they say we need to have close the racial gap, yeah, but how? By what means? It usually ends up becoming taxation, weird policy to build a new stadium somewhere. It's always a bottom line, and we're all stuck in this social part, which is really the least of the problem. It's the least of the problem.
Yeah, I personally, I'm not a huge fan of like social politics. Truth be told, I think everything comes down to economic policy to some extent. Because like, you fix the economy and a lot of things kind of fall into place. But the problem with ignoring social policy is that like, it's so ingrained into everything else that you can't really ignore it. But I hate talking about it because like it really is complex. It's not even complex. It just seems like a waste of time to some extent. But yeah, I've never been one for like talking about social policy, but like. It almost feels like I have to get involved now, or have to be like a little bit more cognizant of it now because of how crazy the left is pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna add with Richard. I think what is it? The proverbial quote. It's all about the bottom line. And then earlier, I think it was like Denis, or I can't say his name, but technology. And it got me thinking, like, technology essentially is just a cope straight up for the masses. I don't know if you could also not Google, YouTube search the Why We Stop Dreaming by Neil deGrasse Tyson. And it actually pretty outlines what technology meant to us as a society. And it was always like pushing the boundaries, as collective, we, going to the moon, Sputnik, internet, all this drive for technology. It was like a cope to keep us, going forward. Like I already literally think the human race is already on its decline and its way out. Like we peaked like probably a century ago, so to speak. And so if you look at it now, like what are we trying to do? Like we're literally technologists that's like we're trying to automate shit. We're trying to make society as autonomous as possible. The great, 2080 divide. It's like, where are we going? We're going nowhere, literally. And yeah, maybe there's some hope with Elon Musk and colonizing Mars, but good luck to that.
No, I can stop you right there, and I can tell you why.
Yeah, that's why I say good luck to it.
What would you take to Mars?
Exactly.
You would take the exact same fucked up culture that made you in the first place. Like,
and you got to remember,
Martian hypergamy. Like, no.
Yeah. You'd be able to get Wi-Fi there. It only takes 7 minutes for a relay signal. Yeah, it would just be a slight delay, but you get the same shit. He's right. Doesn't matter.
Unless there is a sorry pussy on Mars like Mass Effect, there's no reason to go there.
God. We're all dreaming for it, boys. That's what we all want.
Yeah. We are looking for it.
Secretly, they'll be the Geth to wipe us out.
Oh, maybe that's the greatest scope right there.
At that point, people would be looking for Geth pussy too somehow. I don't even know where.
Yeah, you got to think like when they first came to the New World, they thought at the time that you could fall off, and the Inquisition was so bad, people were like, "I'll take my chances."
Yeah, screw it.
Yeah, that's what it was. Who knows?
It's an odd contradiction of civilization that the more advanced civilization gets, the more advanced human civilization gets, the less fit humanity is for human civilization. It's weird, but
yeah, it's the whole cycle of strong men create good times. The old spiel. It's like it's somewhat true.
In part, it's because you're trying to accommodate all these Neolithic age habits and instincts that got you to the point where you could progress. But at the same time, those things depend on the environment to keep them in check. Our subconscious is only built to be cave people. That's why we need all these social controls in the first place, because you can't just naturally exist in New York. You have to be raised and be, you have to
civilized.
You have to be. Yeah, civilization is a process that always goes on. But just being a natural human, that's unnatural.
Yeah.
You can't just be a natural human in New York, else you end up pooping on the sidewalk and raping women. Like, no.
Yeah, the question got asked last time, I think, was like, do you think human beings are naturally good? And I always answered no. Like, we're obviously not.
No, what humans naturally are animals who
Yeah.
who are acclimated to a certain environment, and the further
Yes.
civilization goes, the less fit for that environment humans are. At least
Yeah,
on the subconscious level.
That, like, well, yeah, 1651. Yeah, the Leviathan, basically the idea that we're all so disgusting. It was actually our own disgusting nature that built society, because you don't kill the butcher because you need him to cut your meat, things like that. That actually society exists because of our disgusting nature, not because of our idealistic nature. And I mean, they wrote about these 400 years ago, it's
Oh, yeah,
nothing new.
I have that book.
Yeah.
I haven't read all the way through, but I've read that book, though.
Yeah, actually, our nasty nature created something good. It's like a weird thing,
Someone said humans are not meant to live in large societies next to each other. I probably agree with
There's
that.
truth to that. Yeah, at least we need more space. That's certainly a problem.
I forgot what it was called. Where's that limit people have to the amount of faces they can remember at once, like 150, something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a limit to, like, basically we didn't evolve to like live in like large. This is why a globalism, I think, will ultimately fail, because we didn't evolve to live in a global society. We didn't even evolve to live in like massive nations. We evolved to live in small tribes, and to try to take that and abstract that to like, or extrapolate that out to be like, oh, well, everybody in the world can be part of your tribe. Like, no, our mind just can't fathom. Like, we can't fathom caring about some poor African child being bombed over in I don't know, fucking Nigeria. We just can't do it. But we care a lot more about the kid being shot in our neighborhood last week, because he's right there. Like, it's just a matter of proximity to some extent.
Yes.
I see two possible futures for this. One is that humanity regresses for whatever reason. Like, I don't know, the normal thing people say, like a nuclear war goes off and everybody goes back to huts, and the wheel keeps on turning again. We just regress. But like I said before, just because you turn the clock back doesn't mean it stops ticking. You're still going to end up here. And the second, and I don't even know if this is better or worse, and it's probably more fucked up, is that we're not built for the societies we make. But I see possibly in the next 10 to 20 years, especially with sperm counts dropping to where eventually men won't be able to reproduce, that either through automation or genetic modification, they create the kinds of humans that they need to go forward.
I think eventually there's going to be integration. I don't mean in a racial sense. I mean,
I know what you mean.
There won't be like robots. It will be more like, oh, your ears aren't good. They'll replace you with robotic ears, and it'll sort of be this integration of flesh and machine, and that's sort of what will happen. And the internet is already
cyborg boys.
Well,
it
doesn't mean like in Star Trek. I mean, it's just more. It's already sort of happening.
Yeah,
like,
that
the media has an effect. Is there's certain people who are more impressionable than others, right? Because they don't have a direct neural connection to us yet, where then you just couldn't do anything, right? But certain people are more impressionable to propaganda and things than others. And you see people are completely guided by their phone, and I don't just mean for what to buy, that we're already sort of in that net. You know what I'm talking about? So eventually, as your parts get exchanged, it's going to be some form of integration is more likely. And then genetic engineering, and even at some point it becomes that traditional birthing is just inefficient.
I mean, it might be worse than that. It might be immoral.
Or whatever. I mean, whatever the argument's going to be, eventually.
Oh my God, you had a natural child? You know they can get AIDS, right?
Exactly. Right, exactly.
And then on top of that, it's going to be even worse. Because think of what's going to happen when genetic modification for babies becomes real. Like every child on the earth is going to have blue eyes and light skin, like 7 feet tall, with an 8-foot dick. Like it's
becomes unethical to not do that for your child if you could. What are you going to give them, a smaller cock? For your own belief. You know what I'm talking about? So eventually, that's what it would happen. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna add to this whole genetic thing, but there was a pretty based paper I was reading. about what is that, in vitro fertilization, IVF, because like fertility is actually a big problem right now, whether people realize it or not. There's, like you said, like Jack Nickelback, like males have much lower T, much lower sperm count. It's like it's actually hard to just even make babies the old-fashioned way. And so then in the in vitro fertilization route, more and more parents are opting out to do it that way. Well, one, aside from the, like $30,000 cost to even try to attempt that shit, with a pretty low success rate to begin with. I mean, it's only like 25%. But then the study also concludes like the the kids that are born out of IVF also end up having, fertility problems. And I think there's like 8 million people born through IVF every year, or I think it was every year, every decade. I can't
Yeah.
remember. So progressively, like there are people being born through IVF, but it's like less and less of those offsprings, less and less are able to have natural birth.
You have, yeah.
And yeah, it's part of the human race decline.
Eventually, there's going to be no choice but to just make humans wholesale out of
Yeah,
scratch.
Yep.
Yep, I think that's the future that could definitely happen.
I mean, look at
What movie did it happen in? What's that movie called? Blade Runner. So like manufacture people, right?
I know there was Children of Men where nobody could make children anymore, and everybody just went fucking crazy. But
Oh yeah, that was another good movie too.
Getting depressed, boys.
Eh,
It's happening.
Well, no, I think the point is that see what it is. It lets you make the next decision. That's why I get really anti-cope. That was sort of my point. You know what I mean? Like, granted, we don't know exactly what the next step is, but focusing on any of the other crap isn't going to help anybody. And that's why, as I started off, I'm against blue pill and I'm against the red pill because neither are really open-minded. Neither are focused on a narrow sect of a mainly male problem. Because as you said, there's a juggernaut law. Women aren't open to it yet. They're going to get there when they become 50-year-old spinsters in the new world. They're going to be surprised, but it's too late. But either way, well, no, eventually
you got to go to Kevin Samuels. You got to go to the Kevin Samuels train because all those kinds of women are on there, and all of them are still looking for 30-year-old Chad who's a millionaire.
I know they will. I don't mean that none of them will, but look, the party eventually ends for everybody. Nothing's permanently sustainable. They're going to be sorry. But they're going to be a little late, you know.
I mean, the worst part about that is not that they screw their lives up; is that they screw everybody else's lives up.
Oh, they did. Oh, yeah. No. I don't mean this.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm just reflecting on it. Like,
yeah,
all society depends on females' choices sexually.
Yeah.
I mean, men control the environment, but women control the gene line. And if they screw up, everybody screws.
Yeah, but when I'm saying hold is that you think when there's an economic crisis, you think, let's say you guys hold on for a bit. I know what everyone's age is. Let's use 30 as the average of this user group here. You guys hold your money, and I'm not saying age pill be damned. I'm telling you, if you still have money when you're 45 or something, there'll never be an easier time for you to pull a 26-year-old, just the way things are going. So you want to don't worry about those fucking roasties or anything right now. That's the best thing you could do. Just to be honest, because eventually there's going to be people who are completely fucked, and they're not going to be able to rely on daddy either, because daddy doesn't have any money. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, the only problem with that is
you got
the only problem I would say is that being connected with women in any sort of way introduces the state. That's the whole point of MGTOW. You can't be involved in any way without the state being involved.
Oh no, I get you. What I guess, sorry, I was relating it to like when people talk about gaming and women. I'm saying that my opinion was the best thing to do is to hold. That's like the best thing you do. But all these other things are telling you to get involved. So I'm just trying to say that there's actually, by holding, there's actually more of an advantage at this point. That's I guess we're sort of on the same page, but I was just extending on my earlier point.
No, that's fine.
Where these other groups are telling you more to get in now. And I'm like, why? I'm not saying to just lay down and rot either. I don't, because like at that point, it's like if you've accepted, and let me put a disclaimer: if someone feels they accepted, that's over. Well, then what are you here for? Does that make sense? I hope someone doesn't do that. But I feel that if you feel you want to push on, which I think people should because you're here, right? Then you got to really think what the game is. You know what I'm talking about? And those other things are just, they're not accepting what the game is. And the guys selling that shit know what the game is to a degree, and they're just fucking you. So I really think the only thing for men is, I'll say it again, is accepting reality. When you accept the reality, you can do something with it, and that's it.
And
That's the only thing you do.
not to be a downer, but that question you asked does have an answer.
Which one? No, which part?
Why are you here? Or why are those men here? They're still here.
Oh, you mean like?
Why are they still existing if they think everything's over? It's easy. They're still here because they're afraid to die. That's why people lay down and rot in the first place instead of just rope.
Yeah, and that may be true, but what I'm trying to say is we're going to be purely reductionist. You're still no, but hold on. I'm saying if we're being purely reductionist, that everything's meaningless. Fine, but if that part of your brain is still saying move on, the only thing you have is to do that. That's the only way to maximize it. You get what I'm trying to say? So if people aren't ready for that, again, I'm not saying to do it, even though let's say logically that is correct. If you're not ready for it, the only thing to do is make yourself better. And the rest of the shit is just wasting your fucking time. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I would have to 100% agree with Richard. Like, I think I went through all the phases of, I was definitely a fucking blue pill simp. Then, discovered like MGTOW, or not necessarily MGTOW, but red pill. And then, finally you take the black pill and you realize it's over. Like, it literally never began. But then, like you say, Jack, it's like there's no way, like most people aren't gonna, self-checkout. So the future is Eldar maxing. But then at the same time, Eldar maxing takes zero fucking effort. It's like you could do that every day for the rest of your life. But like Richard said, it's like don't get involved. All this MGTOW or red pill or any other pill kind of stuff to get involved is detriment right now, especially nowadays.
If anything, ever now is the worst.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's the worst. It's the worst thing, particularly a younger guy who's like doesn't have much yet. It's the fucking worst thing they could do.
Exactly. So then,
that's over. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and the best thing you could do is, I don't know if I could use myself as an example, but like make a goal every day to put yourself in a better position is all I have to say. And that's what I've been doing. And, it's easy to self-check out, but, just, 100% true. Make everything
and if you're
better.
not ready to do it, or even if it's just your own brain's way of preservation, well, that's also the black pill. You're accepting that that's what your body does. So you have to the next step. And the only way to do the next step is to know the rules of the game. And
I think it's the natural final conclusion of the black pill. Like, where do we go? The only goal is to, what is it? Self-max yourself, essentially.
Self-maxing, let's call it that. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, it's sort of like
that's all you can do. And that's all anyone's ever done. It doesn't matter what fucking stories they tell you. Anyone who's ever done well, they've self-maxed.
It's sort of like that point in like a video game where you beat the game and it's like, oh, what do you do now? Well, you just kind of
that may be true. That may be true. But the point is, if you're not, that's what I'm trying. I'm not advocating to do it. I'm saying whether you believe you shouldn't or if it's just your body's mechanism. If you are not going to drop out, of reality, then the only thing you can do is to make it better. Does that make sense? And I don't mean that in some fairy tale way. I mean realistically. So all this other shit, chasing after fucking roasties at a bar, you're going to take a class for that. Fuck that. These are the same. Listen, that's the same mentality of the people in high school treating you like shit. And now you're going to try to go back to those people, the same people who are going to be bagging groceries if they're lucky. No, you got to let go of all that shit. And then you could do something. What it is, whatever, but you do something. You know what I mean? There's been times in humanity where things have been really fucked up and then they weren't fucked up later. So now you're just going to blow the whole wad now. That's, there's nothing else.
Nuclear Redfield says the majority of people that do well in life have great social circles that give them the helping hand.
I mean, there's truth to that, but then you say, if you believe that, I'm not saying that's wrong, then why aren't you spending time trying to get into a union, a political? You see, I'm not saying to do this. I'm just saying if that's the problem. It's like if you accept it's this, then you have to do that. Does that make sense? Like if you think like, oh, the only way to make money is investing, and I know you guys do, but I'm just saying I'm putting that more as rhetorical. If you go, the only way to do it is to invest for 10 years, then that's the only answer. There isn't another answer. Does that make sense? You're not going to find, everyone's going to tell you some other shit. But the truth is, if you go like, okay, compound interest is the strongest for, then that's your answer.
Yeah, it's sort of like losing weight. It's like, okay, well, I'm fat. Okay, how do you lose weight? Well, you lose weight. Like, like there's no other answer to that. Like, you either do it or you don't. Like,
right. Maybe you got to find your way to do it, but you know the answer. And that's why this shit is a waste of time. That's why when I see people like listening to Rollo and these fucking douches, people have been married for years and like telling you these things. And it's like to get you to try to become the person you weren't when you're like 16. Holy shit. Like that's horrible. That would be bad even if it was a good time. Imagine we were at a good time and someone was trying to be 16 when they're 42. Oh, that's the worst, especially now. No, this is growth time. This is opposite, you know?
I mean, for incels, and I've said this months ago, and I probably need to stop saying I said this. All right. If you don't have sex, all you have is the thought of it, the illusion of what it could be.
Yes.
So if you're 30, and I'm not saying you, I'm just saying if you're 30 and you never had it, you are mentally still in puberty. Like you have not, no matter, I don't care if you have like $1 million and became president. Your sexual development level is at the same point where it's wondering what it's like. And all you have is the dream of what it could be. And that drives people literally insane. So there's a lot of people trying to get back that.
Yes, you're right. I'm not trying to, I guess we get into this thing where you sort of dice you. I'm not trying to be, when I say these things, I'm not saying it as I don't understand how much it hurts. Okay, let me give you an example with one of my injuries. I couldn't walk for 5 years. I couldn't, I don't mean as a joke. Okay? I had my legs strapped with leather boots to lose weight and walk. So I fucking know how bad shit can be. Okay? But the point is, the only option I had was to do that to walk. Does that make sense? So I'm not being insensitive in the sense that like it doesn't fucking suck. I'm saying it actually in a caring way that these red pill and whatever are the blue pill guys telling you just smoke up your ass. The red pill guys giving you that clownish masculinity stuff. No, just be an alpha. No, I'm telling you that shit is really dirty out there, and in a sympathetic way, telling you that you got to get your shit together. Does that make sense? Like it's all true, but it doesn't change what the answer is. And I feel a lot of times these things get lost in this navel gazing that there's some other answer where there isn't. So that's why, again, it comes to the conclusion that if you're not ready to rope, and I'm not saying to do that, the only thing you can do is to accept it and push. And all the other things, the cope in certain things is okay if it's entertainment. But everything else that gets you to pick up a lifestyle that doesn't get you to accept reality, anything that gets you to regress is not only a waste of time, but it's detrimental. And those guys are jackass. I know we sort of joke with them, you know, but they are fucking assholes. They're the worst thing. They're like when cults pop up, you know, during the 60s, people ran the communes. They're that version of it. You got these lost men going to these fucking losers, milking them dry, leaving them in a infinite state of adolescence, which is the last thing they need. You know? I mean, I wish there was something else, but that's the truth.
Yeah, it's not just these PUA or grifters. It's a lot of other things men are falling for, like you know, this buy my Forex investment, you know, program.
Yeah. I think because this is a newer thing. You're right. There's always been, you know, the guy selling like be rich like me. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm just saying. Okay. Let me clarify what I meant. I see where you're going with this. I think the reason I think that the red pill is particularly insidious is because we do need a male space. Does that make sense? Like there's always been financial crimes or whatever. That's not new. This is the first time where a lot of times guys don't have fathers. because they grew up in these weird homes or whatever, and they are
Mhm.
turning to these former pickup artist gurus or whatever you want to call them, who are just completely sabotaging any chance they have of waking up. And they have to, because it's fucking serious. You know?
Yeah. If you check out, I think it was CoffeeZilla's channel. It's pretty good because all he does is expose these
I
scammers.
haven't, but I'll put them on my list. Let me check. Yeah. But do
Yeah,
you guys get what I'm
and,
saying? Like, I'm not trying to be. I don't mean it as. I'm trying to say that I know. I fucking get it. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. It's just that there is nothing else. You know, and that's sort of the acceptance that has to be made.
Yeah, when all you're left with is the truth, the raw truth, and nothing but the truth, you'll have no other reason but to accept it. Like you have no other
Yes.
choice but to accept it.
Yeah, and
other than-
that's it. You're right. And everything else is bullshit. That's why even like when you joke about men sent their own way, that's another why you go, well, what's the big deal? They're staying out. Yeah, but it's bullshit in the sense that what are you gonna go live in a fucking cabin or something? Like just fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Like what does that matter? No, I mean I get the feeling behind it. I get the feeling, but it's still ridiculous. It's still an adolescent. It's like building a tree house. Like, what are you gonna? No girls allowed.
No,
Seriously,
no girls allowed.
it's like saying no girl. It's like putting a no girls allowed sign. It's just it's infantile. You know, the sentiment is understandable. The action is ridiculous, temporarily. But that idea of like I'm gonna go my whatever. You know what I mean? What was that guy's name again? The guy you just said to check out on YouTube?
CoffeeZilla.
CoffeeZilla. I'll just add him to my list. I'll look at it on time.
Yeah. No, to add to it, like your point is great because, in terms of the seeking of snuggles and not being able to find it, a lot of men do end up in the manosphere, and these PUA grifters are a detriment to just society in general.
As bad as the blue pill guys are, you know what I mean?
And then I was just only adding to it that a lot of people are lost, and they fall for these other scams, not the PUA scams.
Absolutely.
Financial scams,
like
get rich quick scenes.
At least with the blue pill person,
Yeah,
as ignorant as a blue pill person is, at least you can like blame their stupidity on ignorance, complete ignorance of the truth. Like
that was
the red pillar is completely like he knows part of the truth or they know some of it, and they completely like lie to you about it and try to like sell you
like, let me throw this let me shove
a pipe
under
dream.
the rug. Yep, exactly. That's the problem. Yeah. And like I'm saying specifically, it's just like to piggyback on what you said. The worst time to get into a financial thing, like you bring up the Forex guys, right? The worst time to do that is when you're in a financial hardship. It would never be good any time, but you could make a risky Forex move when you have extra money. So the worst thing to do is when you don't. So what I'm trying to say is these are guys going to these things, just like I thought you were bringing up the statistics that like there's more people, well, partially because of quarantine, but there's more people like going to old red pill videos because they're searching for the same reason. Like, why did my wife leave me? Whatever, right? So it's kicking up all the dirt in those analytics. So that's the worst thing that could be happening right now. They don't need to hear that shit. You know what I mean? And because there's so much money to be made in that stuff, it's going to, I mean, you know what I mean? Like like someone telling you you may as well join a cult at that point. Because
it's
you're gonna be like Asperger's Bruce Willis. Did you see that fucking guy?
Yeah, you're welcome for that name. You're welcome
That was so fucking good.
Okay, you gotta quote him as the guy who said that because that thing fucking rules. Okay, that was a good. I laughed so hard my neighbors thought I was nuts. Okay, so quote him as saying that. But the Asperger's Bruce Willis, like that's what you're gonna be. You're gonna be writing reviews for fucking Richard Cooper on Amazon. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the end result. That's my point. You know,
Yeah,
like, holy
what was it? Like some of this is ridiculous if you look at it.
That's what I mean. It's laughable. It's fucking laughable.
One of the videos is like the cult.
That guy. Holy shit! You know? Oh my god! Wow. You know?
It's one of them is like the cult of I think it was Dan Locke, and they literally prey on these blue pill simps. Like they teach them how to get like 10K loans from credit cards so you can buy my course. And then, at the end of it, it's like 3 months later, you got like 50K in debt. Of course, you're not gonna be making 100K, you know, doing a cold call sale pro master. Yeah.
At the end of the day, all these red people, all these people aren't the problem. They're symptoms of the problem, and the problem is you have a society where the normal average person, by which I mean average male, because who gives a fuck about women? The normal average dude can't just float through life, because most people are built for that. You just float through life, have 2 or 3 kids, usually have a job, whatever. Like, I'm a baker, whatever. Okay, Neolithic times, you're the baker who bakes. That's what you do. You fuck, have a den of kids, and then you die. If that process is interrupted, society falls. And we're in the midst of that fall. That's why you have all these piranhas out here. You know, they're not the lions that ate the people. They're the vultures. Yeah, they're just out here getting they're just out here getting the dead carrion from society.
But again, like I said, that's what when you brought up the Forex thing, let's use Forex for example, is that you can afford to take a risk when you can. So right now, if we're going to say certain copes are worse, I get what you're saying. I totally get that. But if certain copes are worse, that's the worst thing right now. Not getting these guys to be like, holy shit, I got to go fucking nuts is the worst thing that could happen for everybody. Because that's the only thing that's going to push it. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, you're the one saying that, and I agree with you that maybe it's got to tip earlier than later. And I think you're right. But if those guys are fucking around thinking that they're gonna, take advice from Asperger's Bruce Willis, I mean, we are all fucked. That's the problem, and that's why they're the worst. It's the last thing they need. Even though I get it, there's a vacuum, and that's why they go for it. And these guys are also in debt to their eyeballs, so they're being vultured. But nonetheless, that's the last thing. And unfortunately. That's the dominant part of what people are going to find.
The red pill is the final coat. That's why.
Sucker telling you to stay in the system. Make sense? That's my feeling.
The red pill is the final coat that you have that much agency over your environment. That's why.
Yes, and now they're going to try to keep people in that perpetual state.
And they can't, because eventually it comes due, and men especially are going to ask, okay. And it's like literally, I think it's literally the reason ER went ER. Like, okay, I did all this for so long, and now I'm in debt, but I don't have any results. Like, you can only take so many showers before you start.
It can't be. How many people in the stream right now? It's got to be a lot more than 15. That's not a knock. I don't mean it like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's 15. So I'm guessing like 3 of them are FBI agents. So probably like 12.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we could say 12 souls today.
Okay, right. But what I'm saying is, I feel that the red pill keeps them in the critical mass because they're the ones who are going, wait a second, everything's fucked up, and they're like, no, you could be a Chad, and that's the worst thing you'd hear.
Yeah.
You got to hear someone be like, there is no fucking way that's happening, and you got to get your shit together. And they're not telling you that. You know what I mean?
It's because they can't make money in the black pill.
It's harder. And don't be surprised if that starts to get a little bit commodified, because I've even been seeing some of that popping up. But that's true. It's harder to monetize it.
Oh, but one other topic I was gonna say is like in the black pill, I would consider mystery myself. Like Face, Incel TV, like I think those are kind of like the last bastions of real black pilled, and I feel like some of these channels or other so-called people in the black sphere is fake cells. Like it's getting invaded by a bunch of normies and chads trying to feel better about themselves, And I think I made one other comments, like sooner or later you'll start to see normies make so quote unquote BP content with hey, today's sponsor is Keeps, take some Keeps to keep your hair, because hair is life, right?
I mean, to be fair, normies are the new incels.
Yeah, you got a point there.
I mean, what was that 2016, 2018 study that said like a third of men under 30 haven't had sex in
I
a
think it's like
year.
half now. So it's definitely half. So that's
Yeah,
what
and that was self-reported, so
Yeah.
a lot of people
It's
know.
higher. It's way higher
Even
than that.
higher. Yeah, it's like the
I'd say it's
2/3.
high as 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once all these men stop lying to each other and then actually admit, and people find the real number, like I don't know what's gonna happen.
What if
Yeah.
it literally is like 80%, 20% now? What if it would definitely be 80-20? I'd laugh my ass off. Like, wow,
Well,
okay,
then
80-20 is real.
Well, by that point, you could count the hours. You could tell what hour it is by how many explosions happened that day.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Romans kept people or men in check with, government subsidized snuggles. So I think that might be coming.
Well, Rome has like basically had endless war as well. They had like a lot of wars going on, so they were easily able to throw men at the problem or throw men
Yeah,
away
that's
and just
true.
keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep
I
fighting, and
mean,
keep throwing men at the problem. But
it's much deeper than just sex. At the end of the day, it's women that integrate you into society.
yeah,
It's their acceptance that says to everybody else, okay, he's part of the tribe. Men aren't born into the tribe. Boys are born into the tribe. Men have to be integrated into it. But if you have generations upon generation that aren't integrated into society and that just, I'd say the future is nihilistic, psychopathic, and I forgot what the A was, asexual, whatever. Basically, you're gonna have a whole bunch of men, and you can even see that in the chat. To be honest, sometimes where people don't even have the basic human skills that were normal in like the 90s. Like I thought I was fucked up because I was born in like 92, and I didn't get I fucked up a whole bunch of social steps. But then I have people asking me like, "Hey, how you do X such and such?" And I'm like, "Why the fuck are you asking me? Like I'm here for a reason. Like what the fuck?" So it's just like even those basic steps are getting messed up now, then you can't make a society with men who don't see themselves or don't even know how to be part of a society.
Yo, you have a straight up good point. Like, since I grew up, I'm in my 30s, so when I was in what was it? I want to say fourth grade. It's like I was learning how to use Netscape 1.0. I have a distinct memory of like, oh, here's the home button. It'll take you to your home page. Here's the back button. It'll take you to your previous page. Like Netscape 1.0. And my dad brought home a 56K modem, right? And he's like, man, this thing's lightning fast. It's better than the 28K. So I've watched it all. Like I've literally seen it all. And people nowadays can't even have a conversation, like literally just a straight up conversation. It's like, oh my God, he's talking to me. What do I do? You know? It's all about the texting and instant messaging, and there's no actual voice behind it.
Yeah, and then but think of something though. You have that for normal people. Like the incels, which as you're saying is becoming or is probably the new normal, you're left out of that. You don't even have that to fall back on. So what the hell do you do?
Yeah, I think Face said it best on one of his streams. Like, women and men in 2021 absolutely live in a different world.
reality. Yeah.
Yeah,
See that's completely false. We live in different universes. It's like a Doctor Who, like women live in that multiverse over there. Women and men live in this one with Goku and Xenu and whatever.
yeah.
Like you cannot even imagine like bruh. I didn't know how it was for women until I was like 25 and I was just blown away. Like what the fuck? Like you have all this opportunity? Like the hell? It's crazy. It was literally unimaginable. Because like you grow up, you're thinking everybody thinks like you. Because that's the only frame of reference you have. Then you realize it's different, and either drives you crazy or drives you mad. like
The
angry.
sad part is they have all that opportunity and they still fuck up.
Yeah,
Like this is the sad part
Yeah, I
about it.
mean,
Like
seriously, as a Western Foyd, like, how do you mess it up? Like, you literally just gotta take a shower, don't be fat, and smile. That's it.
Yeah, and they fucked that up too.
Like it really is sad. Like how do you fuck up like being especially if you're I mean I hate to bring on the race pill here, but if you're white, a white Western woman, you have like you're the
Yeah.
most privileged thing on the face of the planet right now. And
And,
somehow
and not only the face of the planet, no, I being said that, and I'm a white guy. If you're a white woman, you are so privileged that you're literally the most privileged living thing on earth ever.
yeah. And it's like
Ever.
how do you fuck up
You're
life?
the apex of privilege ever in existence. Does that make sense? Of any
Yeah.
civilian.
yeah. I can tell you how you fuck. I can tell you how you fuck it up. You fuck it up by trying to get more than everything.
Yeah,
Yes,
like you're
right,
yeah.
exactly. You want it all. Yeah, exactly.
No, they don't. No, it's not about getting it all. It's about getting more. You get it?
Okay. I mean, like,
it's a never endless.
Like, yeah, I have everything, but what else is more than everything? Like,
yeah.
you're literally trying to attain the unattainable, even if it's contradictory. You can even see that with the selection of males. Like, okay, I want a man that's 6 foot who can get every woman in the world, but who also won't cheat on me. Like, you want two things that can't exist in the same person.
Yeah, paradox.
Yeah. And everybody else is suffering for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But again, that's sort of what I'm saying. I maybe I'm using the terms wrong when you guys were talking about geomaxing. I didn't mean that because I feel like that's sort of a fantasy. What I mean is, if it is an open sexual marketplace, then you have to look at it that they have oversold themselves. Does that make sense? So I don't mean it to go somewhere as a fantasy, but it means more like it makes someone else a better acquisition. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
you know, so it's like, I think some people, let me rephrase this. Sometimes people have this fantasy that, like, even before the flat earth, so to speak, and I mean in an economic sense, in the Milton Friedman sense, not that there's actually a flat geometric earth, right? That was always a fantasy of, like, let's say going east and finding Eden. That's not what I mean. People are people. What I am saying, though, is I'm talking more in a practical sense that if there is an open world, then the answer becomes that if you see, let's say, a white American woman or something, and she's priced herself out, you could sit there and bitch about it or be like, I'm going to date somebody else. Does that make sense? And if that becomes the rule, it's like, let's say you have your job. Which one of you, Drowlix, he has the CS degree. I'm not saying to do this. I'm just saying if his company offers him that he can keep dual citizenship and he can become not an expat, but let's say remote worker, and then why wouldn't you do that now? Are you going to sit here and be, you get what I'm trying to say? That's the decisions that people have to start to make. Trying to game people. No, you have to start seeing what the actual marketplace is. Yeah. And that's more of an answer. So I don't mean a fantasy, but the point is, let's put it this way. Let's say there is no fantasy. All women are the same, and you're eventually going to get someone who's going to be like, okay, then if that's all it is, then you got to find the best okay you can find. It still comes down to it is what it is. You know what I mean? And we can sit there and be like, women, yeah, they fucked it up. They overpriced themselves, but that happens in every unbridled market. And I don't mean that bridled in terms of women. I mean in terms of housing, stocks. You see, there's stocks on the stock market today that are trading at 10 times their book value. Okay?
Yeah,
like
insanity.
Investment houses, not just people. Investment houses are pumping money into stocks that they've calculated with beta coefficients that would make people who are on Black Friday and 31 piss their pants. You know what I mean? That's how much things get pumped. So if women are being like that too, then why the fuck would you even try with them? That's what I mean. Why would you even try to game them? You would try to find something else. And that's why you got to find what the rules are, you know? And it always comes down to that. No matter what happens. Always what the rules are.
True, but out of fairness to I don't know where the hell the Indians and the Asians go, but
trust me, man. How's the rice cell? It's over. It never began.
Well, I don't know.
No, he knows it.
I'll admit it's harder.
But No,
I don't think that. Well, hold on, but at least I'm not being a dick and lying about it. You know, it is. There is a stereotype. What I'm saying is, there's still ways to maximize. I don't know the exact answer. At least I'm being honest about that. You know, the difference
No,
between
I
me saying that I have a
agree.
personal
Like
bias,
so,
me being saying that I have a personal bias, or me accepting that there is a bias. There's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be worse of me to go, oh no, there isn't anything. Of course there is, but maybe you need to hear that. Make sense? Maybe if you are a car resell, you have to go back to an area like that. You have I mean, I'm not saying to do this, but like, if you, that's again, remember we're talking about accepting it. Like, if you go like, fuck, I can't do this, but if I was somewhere, then that's what you have to do. You see what I mean? Because you're not going to change the other things. It still doesn't change my point. It may not be what you want to hear, but is it better to hear to tell you that if you put on Axe, you use the joke, the Axe spray, that's going to change it? Maybe you have to take that CS degree in New Delhi, and that will help you more. I mean, there's
yeah,
very.
I will add to this. You
You
know,
know what I'm
from
trying to say?
the
You got money. That, like, maybe that is the answer.
yeah,
Maybe.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you know,
Maybe
from my perspective.
okay, sorry. You go on. My fault. Go on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So like from my perspective, you know, like Raisa living in the West, it's like you're on Sekiro difficulty. It's just it's over, man.
Yeah, you probably are. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
and
saying that because I feel that way, but I'm acknowledging that it is. But what I'm saying is, if what it means, I'm not saying you're saying this, but let's say let's just use an example. Let's say someone comes in and they go, "I'm a rice cell. This is this." Okay, maybe it's true in a degree, but if you have, let's say, you have got your CS degree, you got money.
no, yeah, hold on. You're not letting me finish.
Oh, sorry. Okay, go
So,
on.
you know, like I know
Yeah.
it's over, and you know, any other rice cell or curry cell knows that it is over, especially if you're living into the West. But like you said earlier, it's all about like self-maxing and you know, taking the path to better yourself to put yourself in a better position. As a result of that, you know, it could also improve your, you know, Snuggles market value, so to speak. And I'm fully aware, like, you know, probably money is the only way for me at least to, you know, realize that path. And so as black pilled as I am, and I know about geomaxing and, you know, the window closing and everything, it's like, it's pretty much over in the sense for most, but, you know, you have to try, you have to get to the top of where your game is and where you can. At least for me, I saw it as, you know, STEM maxing. I do have like a global skill set. I could take this skill anywhere else in the world.
Well, then
And you know,
you did 5 years ago what I was saying that people should do now, and that's my point.
yeah. So
Accepted.
that's what I'm saying.
Accepted.
I 100%
Yeah.
agree with you.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry about that. I cut you off. I apologize.
And yeah, maybe my future plans do include probably going back to the heart of Riceland to find a waifu or whatever.
Then, and
But
my
you know,
point
I'm in
is,
a way better position that or I'm in the best position that I can be for it.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm saying, like, you figure that out. But if I was like, if people need that type of information, they're like, what do I do? I can't. I'm trying to say, if they were at the point still where they're like, what do I do? And one person, the blue pill guy's telling them, oh, be yourself. The red pill guy's saying, be this guy. And if neither of them work, of course they're going to come to the point where they're like, well, why don't I just blow my head off? And I'm saying that if we see what the world is now, and if you're like, that's the best for me, then that's the best for you. You see what I mean? So there is ways to make things better. It's just that sometimes it takes doing something, really swallowing something. And you maybe already did that. So, like, you're sort of ahead of the game. But I guess my point before was there's a lot of guys now who are waking up. I'm not even asking why you woke up. But these guys, whether they like it or not, are going to have to. And if they're, like I said, they go to the blue pill guy, they're completely stuck. But they go to the thing that seems like the plausible alternative, and that is the worst.
Yeah, I think I may be an example
In
of
between.
what could go right, but yeah, like you said earlier, if you hadn't figured this out 5 years ago, it's like it might also
Oh
be
yeah,
too
well,
late. The divide is like it's been here and it's been happening. People are left behind.
but I don't think that's a new thing. Even that, there's always been periods where that has happened. So, like, you can't. I wonder if sometimes even that type of thought, worrying about all those people, is part of our blue pill conditioning.
Wait,
Not to be mean necessarily. I wonder if even part of that, even in the black pill, that part of that thinking that, like, what about these other guys, is still in some weird way a blue pill thing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean I'm saying to intentionally fuck them, but that you would be like, I figured it out. I got a CS degree. Now I'm worried about these people. Like, maybe that's still holding you.
I think we worry about them because we worry about society at large. Like, okay, like, if it happens to one dude, if it happens to one dude, okay, well that's fine. But if it happens to like 1,000 people, okay, well what does that mean for like me
well,
in the
maybe
super
in
long
context
run?
it does. Well, maybe in context, but sometimes worrying about the whole world becomes like when you get the normie worrying about saving the whales. You know what I mean? Like, they're not worried about the real problem.
Mhm.
I don't know, because you put it this way. Let's say even that's true. Okay, you still can't help some of these people if you're not in a position to help them.
Yeah.
You're not putting your mask on first when the plane's going down or something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It still feels like a little bit like, well, I have a good job, so I can't go there because this guy, it's like, I don't know if you could even be considering that right now. You know what I mean? Not that because you want it to happen to that person, but you can't worry about someone who's like not in your predicament. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the only thing is that you got to be around like-minded people and help yourself, and then you could worry about helping others. But until then, some of them may just be, as they would say in the military, DIW, the dead in the water. You know?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean,
It does
that's
seem
the
like
truth,
to help some people it seems like a fruitless effort. Like I described this like, imaginary guy who's like, he looks like the guy from the what's that guy's name? The guy with the bad jaw from like the 1700s, 1600s. You've got a bad jaw, fucking a club foot, and a fucking cleft lip, and it's like, am I really gonna waste the time to help this guy out find a girlfriend? Like, probably not. But like, I can help out someone else who's in a better position, definitely make it. You know what I mean? Like, so it does make some sense to leave some people behind to some extent, even though we don't
or at the
want
very
to.
least, if you're not around their proximity, I mean, just to keep them. See, because sometimes I think I get what you're saying. Let me sort of add to that. I think sometimes when we're thinking of the globals, like if you know an individual, I get that. Like if you know your friend, your brother, but that global sense that we're like, okay, I'm not going to invest properly because some other guy that you don't know. I feel like that's still part of that blue pill shit in some weird way. It may just be unconscious.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
I think society is just built to run on blue pill mindset, right? Like it's only beneficial for society to keep everyone blue pilled. And maybe the real tipping point is like, when people actually self-actualize to the black pill, that's when the collapse could even come sooner.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's actually one of the reasons sex is covert. I forgot it was some kind of instinct where that's why people hide their sexual activities because I forgot what article this so long ago. Okay, that was a cool segue. Screw that.
Don't worry, we all have our moments.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the red pill and the black pill are unnatural. At the end of the day, the only natural pill is the blue pill. That's what you're born with. That's what human society is organized around.
Yeah, I still think the answer probably is ultimately the white pill.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem with that is we can't all be born white.
Oh no! I meant the sorry.
No, I was joking. Relax.
Oh yeah. No. I feel like my bad. No, I didn't mean like that. I meant like that. It's like accepting the whole shit. I know it's gonna sound kind of corny, but do you ever listen to Funkadelic? No, the old Funkadelic, like when they did rock, when Eddie Hazel was in it. You guys know that band, or am I really dating myself? George Clinton, the Funkadelic. I mean, it was even before my time, but it was Eddie Hazel was a fantastic guitarist. They had Maggot Brain. Anyway, the point is, okay, it was during that era when there was like funk rock. It was even before my time, but is not later like hip hop. It was more like a funk rock.
I feel like I know the name.
Anyway, the song's called Maggot Brain. The idea is it's supposed to be he just have to rise above his own shit to figure out the world, and that's sort of what I think the white pill is. That you accept that there's all this garbage and sort of rising above the shit is how you survive. It's not a cope. That's the only answer.
Yeah,
You're
I think you
rising
do
up,
have a point to that for
accepting
sure.
the shit and rising on top. It's like you're floating on a log on the river of shit. That's the only way. There is no other way.
I would
And
say
every single person in humanity who ever figured it out, that's what they did. Whatever they're getting. Remember, there was times where they were in war. There was times they were in complete. You think there's corruption now? There's been periods of unbelievable corruption. There's been periods of wide-scale warfare. There's been periods of plague. This isn't even new. The new paradigm is obviously technology, but every single person who persevered was able to ride a log on the shit. There's nothing else, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I can make 2 comments about that.
Okay.
One, the black pill perspective on it is that a lot of people have already peaked, and where they are right now is probably the best they're going to be. I mean,
Yeah, but see, but peaked in what? You see what I'm trying to say? It's like certain things are constants, right?
peaked as far as getting what they
Network.
as humans. Like, even if they get all the money and all that, I could speak as a millennial. Even if I had all that shit, it'd be empty. That's one reason I really studied for it.
And I'll put at this point, the first existential crisis happened before our grandparents were even born. The Wasteland. T.S. Eliot wrote The Wasteland in 1918. This is not a new thought. So the only way to rise above is to ride the shit. Think of it like this. When World War II happened, it was the end result of everything that led into the Industrial Revolution. The changing of the stock market, nation building, these weird ethnic issues that started to come up because of the weird border issues, World War I, and the money involved and things like that. And certain countries completely gave in. The Americans and the Brits didn't, and they rode the shit.
I could comment on that right
This is
away.
our new shit. Well, I didn't hear what he said. Sorry.
So I can comment on that right away.
Okay, go ahead.
You're talking about men back then who had an investment in their communities. They had families, they had friends, they felt like they were part of something. You're not dealing with that right now. Right now, you're dealing with people who never attacked
I
anything.
understand. What I meant is that the ones who get it are the ones who will survive. That's what I mean. A lot of them aren't going to.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have to agree. It's like what is the end game of the black pill? And I think that might be the self-actualization
pill.
right there.
Yes.
Well, I gotta try. I'm sorry, I gotta press this, but as a dude, and especially as a young dude, survive for what? What am I trying?
Well, again, see, that's what we were talking about before. That's the thing. I get what you're saying. Like, you're right. In a reductionist sense, there is no point to anything.
I mean, not even no, I don't mean that as some abstract hypothetical. It's like, okay, I can't even get what I really want out of society. So why am I striving for all this crap?
What I'm trying to say is that you can get a lot out of society. You stand on the shoulders of giants. You just may need to be a little more realistic.
Yeah, and I'm saying that right now, I could get also. I'm saying, as a hypothetical.
Okay, so for me, it's just a specific question. What is still? I'm not saying you're wrong. What's still, with what you have? What is still burning with you? You're not wrong. I just maybe like, what is, if you want to keep it like more without like doxing yourself, what still burns in you, and which part is from society and which is just in your own mind?
I would say and I'm just speaking as a normal person, because if we're talking about me personally, I'm a friggin' occultist, so that goes into a whole different thing. Like, yeah, I want to contact.
It's a sort of a spiritual problem. In other words, that's what you feel, right?
Well, I'm just saying from a normal man's perspective, because that's what the issue is. As a normal man, let's say I'm a hypothetical average dude. From that perspective, I can't get that human satisfaction I want out of society. No matter how much money I make.
Wait. Okay, right. But here's my point. Can you get that out of no one, or you can't get that out of a group? There's a big difference.
What do you mean out of no one?
Okay. Is there nobody you can get that connection with, like individuals or small groups? Or is it that because of your, let's say, different feelings, and I'm not arguing with that, is that it's hard for you to fit into a group, which may be true. But that doesn't mean you can't feel that connection and accepting that you're like, this is the way I feel and I got to find those people is your white pill. Does that make sense? Like if you're like, I can't, like, this is what I feel. I'm not even asking you to share that part. It's not my point. If you're like, this is the way I see the world and it still lets me function. Okay, hold on. And you're like that. And you're like, okay, this is what it is. Then your answer is, I got to find people. My little private part that also feel that way. If you sit there and be like, I'm waiting for whatever society, that's never going to happen. And you would be correct. It becomes a fait accompli that you'll never find that. Right? And it probably would be easier for you if you thought like everything else, but you're accepting, I don't feel that way. So then you have to find that group. So there still is an answer. That it's it, and that's what I'm saying. Part of getting out of this bullshit is accepting, finding what your niche is. And there still is that niche. You know what I mean? That may be just giving up that you're never going to be part of this big group. And the truth is that big group a lot of times fucking sucks. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
At this point, we're talking about human instinct. That's what I'm really getting at. I have this human instinct.
Groups. Now, I guess I'm not. You kind of being a little vague. So, in what groups are you feeling you're disconnecting with? Normies in your own? Did you find an occultic circle where you don't fit in? Like that's what I'm trying to ask you.
Now, like I said, I can't use myself for an example because I want totally odd shit. I'm way too odd to qualify for. I'm saying from a normal person.
Okay.
I go out here.
All right.
I'm just a normal man in 2020, and I'm probably like, let's say I'm 18 years old. No, let's say I'm 20. I've been out here for 2 years. I don't have any social skills because I grew up on a computer and I was just a normal, average, run-of-the-mill person, whatever. Now I'm here and I have all these human instincts and I might not even know what they are or how I want to achieve them, but I want them satisfied. On some level, I want a woman. On some level, I want a family. On some level, I want a village to be a part of, but I have no way to satisfy those desires. No matter how much money I get, no matter what I become. At that point.
At some point, you have to accept that no human on earth has ever fulfilled every desire. Ever.
Whoa. Slow down. I didn't say every desire.
Okay, but even more than half of them.
And
you still have to maximize.
Not even most. Just enough of those basic desires to keep going.
There's got to be some weird motherfucker that agrees with you. I mean, we're talking. There's got to be a lady too. I think maybe part of it is you're still sort of, and I'm not saying it's easy, but you're still probably shoving it a little bit into some other way. I'm not saying not to do that work. I'm not saying not that you don't want to do that to have social connection for business. You got to be partially cyborg. But I think ultimately you got to find that small little group, and that's the only people you can be sort of real about, and that's the only answer. You're never going to find this large group where you fully fit in. You're always going to feel weird. Certain people have the luxury that either because of who they are, because they haven't had certain knocks, that they feel comfortable in that. But even that's a farce, because one day your fucking leg goes out, like in my case, and it doesn't fucking matter. The same people who told you, I thought you could do anything, don't think you can do shit. So you got to find that small little group, small plot or whatever, and that's all you're going to get. Now, if that's not enough, then that's not going to be enough. But
I'm saying that for young people right now, not even that's available.
But again, what I'm trying to say to you is we're talking right now, you're still trying to solve the problems of other people who are outside of your realm. It still is a blue pill thing.
Well, right now, I'm talking about society in general. I'm saying from their perspective.
Yeah, I know, but you can't. Yeah, but maybe that's it. Maybe they're the cannon fodder of the old, old guard. People used to be cannon fodder. There's nothing to do about it.
Yeah, I had made a video about that. Cannon Fodder video. I forgot
Oh,
about
you
that
did.
video.
Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
made a
Yeah, I
video
don't
called
remember
Cannon
that.
Fodder.
They may be the cannon fodder, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean,
You put their hat on the cross, like in the Oregon Trail, and that's it.
Then why the hell was that so hard to say?
Wait, what did I say?
There's some people just can't make it. Right now, you have those people in the chat, and they're asking,
I
okay,
think
what do I
that
do?
if
What do I
they're
do when
here,
there's logically no answer?
and I'm telling them if they're here, they at least got enough of a Kindle on their head that they want to do something, that they know something's wrong. So that means they still have a chance. They're young.
yeah, I mean, I
After
feel you,
that,
Jack.
at some point, there isn't anything. I get it. Like that's why I keep trying to say I've been literally on all three sides. In it, completely annihilated and came through it. I swear I get it. But I'm still saying if you want to be here, and I think that's why they're here, because they wouldn't be here if they weren't looking for some fucking answer. And the answer is that in every generation, the people who figured out what the fucking rules are. And
Yeah, I have to
why
add to this.
folks are dead. Yeah, go ahead. I talked enough.
Yeah, like I feel your like the pain, like you feel, Jack, and you talked about wanting a woman, wanting a family at some point, like all of this shit I have felt, and yeah, like I said, I'm in my 30s. It's like you guys just gotta realize some things aren't gonna happen. You missed out on your teen years of innocent love or whatever, or like time is time. It's gone. It's never coming back. And so I guess my point is, it's like, don't worry about others. Like you're talking about in general about society. Like society's fucked. Like who gives a shit about anyone else? Part of it is, self-maxing. Like don't give a fuck about any other person but yourself. Like because when you start worrying only about yourself, I would say that's when some of your own happiness will truly come. Like you don't need to worry about like who gives a fuck about what other people think.
Well, to be fair, I'm not saying what my personal needs are. A lot of what we do here is going through the hypotheticals of where society is going. That's why I'm trying to empathize with the common person, because I'm not the common person. That's why I'm not putting myself in the example. I'm like, okay, if I'm a normal person going through these processes, what would I do? If normal people are going through these processes in mass, what will they do? That's what I'm trying to do. It's more like a if-then kind of computer thing.
Yeah, I feel you. Like,
So it's more like, okay, it's not like, okay, I feel bad, blah, blah, blah. It's more like, from my perspective here, what are the ramifications of these situations going on? It's more like a think tank kind of thing. You get me?
yeah. Like I said, I literally think society is on its decline. It's
Crimson
like it's
Shadow
gonna
just
go.
said, just enjoy the decline, bros.
Yeah, he summed it up.
Yeah, just enjoy the fucking
And like
decline.
Richard was saying, just work on yourself to put yourself in a better position. That's all I could say too.
And look, the only conclusion I can come to is that a lot of people are just born losers. And the only thing we could say is that some people, there's no choice but to learn how to be a better loser. Now, whether that's enough, I can't say.
I disagree. What I'm saying is you have to learn sometimes to lose certain hands, like it's a poker game.
I got to disagree on this fundamentally. I don't think there's enough out there for everybody.
There's not enough of everything, but you can still get certain things. And that may not be enough. What I'm saying is that may not be enough for certain people. But you still, like I said, if you want to be here, you got to find enough that makes you still want to be here. And it's still something.
Well, I would say that's the fundamental crux. That right now for young men, the juice ain't for right. It's becoming where the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and the odds aren't enough where people are going to try. And
Yes.
Yeah, and once men stop trying, that's when society's fucked. Because
Yes.
society depends on men trying.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, it may very well much get much worse. What I mean is, if you self-max and you hold out through it, you'll have something. That's the only thing you can give to somebody. Because right now, I'm trying to say, blowing whatever you have and all this shit's going to happen is just going to leave you in a worse spot. That's what I mean. I'm not saying it's good out there. It's really bad. I'm not being the difference between being realistic and completely idealistic. There can still be optimism in shit. Eventually things turn around because historically that's always happened. So the only option is to build and hold. There's nothing else.
You know, I think there's some truth to that. So, like you said earlier, what was it Richard said earlier? Yeah, hold now. You might be in a better position 10 years when you actually have money where the rest of everyone doesn't have. And it'll be easier to pull in chicks or something, right?
Or whatever comes next. We're in a transition. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what's going to be next. But why would you want to put yourself at a disadvantage? Why would you want to rechase? That's when you brought up. Remember when you said how that we missed, some people have missed time? That was my point. Those red pill guys are telling you to recapture something that you already fucking missed. So you're going to miss the next part of your life recapturing something that's gone. It's a waste of time. It's gone. Your youth, that youth is gone. The old world is gone, but something comes around and you don't want to be ready for it. That's the only optimism you can have. And sometimes people got to go too. It's just the nature of things. Like I said, there's a long time period that you had an 80% chance you're going to get fucking annihilated on a beach somewhere in a country with a name you couldn't pronounce. This is like our war. And you're just going to fucking rot on the hill? Not worth it. Unless you're just going to take yourself out. And if you're not, that's the answer. See what I mean? You're accepting that it's shit and you're like, it might get a little bit better and I'm going to play my cards for that. And I think you're doing that. So because you're investing, you're doing those things, but that's it. That's the pill. Otherwise, it just becomes wallowing. You're worried about society and a bunch of people who, quite frankly, don't give a fuck about you at all. They would throw you under the bus in 2 seconds, and they already sort of have. Make sense?
I'm feeling
They
that.
threw you under the bus fucking years ago.
Yeah.
And now you're going to worry about that they're not going to keep their finances in place? Good. Fuck them. Fuck them. You're saying that you're a rice seller, you're going to worry about some fucking Chad doesn't have his fucking house payments in? You should be fucking applauding that he blew his whole life up. You should be cheering.
Yeah, to some
Now
extent,
you're
you're right. It's
worried?
almost like you're
Yeah.
laughing at
What
their
are you
expense, and it's
worried
like,
about him? You worried about him?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Right.
Let him fucking burn his ass down. I'm
Yeah,
not saying you're purposely doing it to him. There's a difference. But that you're going to somehow try to stop it? Holy shit. No, fuck him, man.
yeah. Remember when
You know
earlier
what I mean?
I was talking about those 3 letters and I forgot what the A stood for?
Yeah.
I remember what that A was. That A was apathy.
Okay.
That's
But
no,
I'm
I'm
not
not
saying-
saying you're wrong.
yeah,
I'm just
okay.
saying it's the
Yeah,
natural
yeah.
conclusion of things. That's why I had that 2030 date, and that's why I think the social situation is going down so fast. I don't think the end of civilization was the incel at all. I think the end of civilization was the MGTOW. Right there, when you had the lack of male long-term investment in society, it's already over. Everything else is just icing on the cake.
Well,
right? Yeah.
Either way, what I'm saying is then be prepared for what's next. That's the only thing. If you're not, like I said, again, if you're not ready to end it, and I'm not saying you should, but I'm also saying that if that's how you feel, not you, I'm using the ubiquitous form, fine. But if you're not, I'm saying if you're the person, if someone's listening, or if someone is listening and they're like, I'm not ready to fucking do that, but I get that things are fucked up, this is what it is. This is what your daddy would tell you. The times we talk about, we didn't have men, Your dad didn't just fucking tell you about how to do like red pill shit. No, your dad told you like how to like keep your house from going under foreclosure. You know what I mean? One dynamic was dating. That's the least of your worries. You got to be able to have your shit together when things settle. And it does. It always does. Because you got to remember, eventually it's going to affect the top. It always does. Even if they don't get it, it's going to bite them in the ass. They're going to make a mistake. They're going to invest in something wrong. And you got to be in a position where you have enough cash to invest or control yourself that you survive through that. That's the only thing. And if you're not ready to end yourself, that's it. If you're young and you're starting out, you got to think with that. You got to be like, things are fucked and I'm ready to be here and I got to do something. Otherwise, everything else, it's a waste of fucking time. Everything. You know what I mean?
I do. I understand, and I don't actually disagree because that's what I'm doing right now in my life. I just didn't know.
I'm happy, and let me stop. I'm happy to hear that.
No, but the thing I didn't notice is that that's socially a race to the bottom. If it's just,
but again, you keep focusing. It doesn't. Okay, let's say you're right, and this inevitable thing is going to happen. I'm not saying you're wrong. That eventually a critical mass. Okay, then it's going to happen. So you're not going to maximize yourself.
Yeah, you
and
might
then
as
when
well.
it happens,
You might as well be
then
on
why
the
would
side
you
of
be
that.
prepared for this fucking fall? Again, it's some blue pill thing. I get it. You got burnt. You don't feel close to people and stuff. But what are you're gonna worry about them? You gotta fucking just help yourself. Help the few people you can. Right now, I'm doing that too. I'm talking to you guys. After that, there's a difference between intentionally sabotaging someone and just being like, they're either gonna float or sink.
Again, this is a think tank thinking about future projections of society. So just.
I know, but I'm saying again, if you feel that way, and I'm not saying you're wrong, that may happen. But if you feel that, then what other option do you have not to maximize yourself? I mean, again, it comes back to my point.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a nut job too, but being a prepper could also be a black pill thing. I mean, I got 1 year worth of food supply, dried
Oh yeah,
food.
my racks are filled.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got my Smith & Wesson M&P 15 coming soon. I got Kel-Tec PMR
I got
30s.
plenty of guns.
Yeah, get ready, boyos. It's coming. Like, if you're not ready, you're fucked. The only problem right now is just finding ammo. It's so hard.
Yeah, that's hard right now. I know. Yep.
So, I think the true black pillars are on another level. Don't give a
and
fuck
they're the
about
ones.
other people.
Yeah, but let me
it's all
just
about
put it here.
you.
I think you guys are doing but see, here's another thing, because you bring up how people co-opt things. I call it practical prepping. There's a difference between being practical and you get these other people just being weird, and that's also a cope. You know what I mean? Like, it becomes a cope. There's a difference between saying like actual supplies or guns, and then you get these other people doing this like fantasy. Like they're basically LARPing at that point. So no, yeah, Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, the stream's been going on for a long time. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one off here real soon. But
yeah, good stream, guys.
Anybody got any last words?
Yeah, I'm done.
All I gotta say is just good stream, good times.
Yeah, definitely. Good talking, guys.
And
all right, remember to be better bachellers. Have a good week. Be better bachelors. Go your own way. Send your own way. Whatever. Yeah.
Where you black pill center definitely sent over here.
Yeah.
Let's see. You have three options: either become a normie, destroy them, or lay down and rot.
Pass. Nice. All
right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream off.
Good luck, guys.
All right,
good luck, America. See ya.
Good luck, guys. See ya.